Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty uncomfortable out there this afternoon with all that humidity. We'll see a high of 90 degrees, feeling like low 90s with a heat index. Late afternoon and evening thunderstorms likely across our area. We'll see those diminish tonight on a low of 70. Tomorrow with a cold front, we'll see another round of afternoon and evening storms, and it'll be hot and sticky with a high of 90.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcomb.company.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 115 points to 38,826.
Love guarded by Keels, gets a screen, pulls up for three. Got it! Caleb from straight away! Jones with one. Jones puts it up at the buzzer. Yes! He ties the game!
Joining with a long rebound, kicks ahead to Smith. 3-ball, right side.
Bang!
Shotgun snap. Bryce Young, pressure off the backside. Throw to the end zone. Chark pulls it in with his fingertips.
And another chance, and the save's made by Anderson. And the fans will tell you, did you have a good night?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Wednesday. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. June 5th, the soccer tournament's going on. College baseball super regionals are getting started, and it's finally starting to feel like football season. Panthers are in the middle of OTAs, those off-season practices that are technically voluntary.
I feel great about playing football right now.
That was in April. That was the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales. I feel great about playing football right now. That was in April. He must be itching in June. When can we go 11 on 11, full pads, full contact, full drive up and down the practice field?
He said that before the draft, if I remember correctly.
He said that before the draft.
Before the draft.
It was like April 16th. It was
Something
along
like
those
that.
lines. The Panthers put out episode 1 of their behind-the-scenes off-season show they call The Blueprint. What can we learn from it? Well, first of all, they're not the only ones that do this. There's one Jets drive for the Jets. There's something purple for the Ravens. Like every team has what I call state-owned media. Right? This is propaganda.
Yeah.
This is always going to be positive. If there is like a fight at practice, unless the coach is framing it as we're a passionate group of gritty guys, you're not going to hear about it on these things. But we can learn, it's like almost through that lens we can learn something about the Panthers, right? Because if they own the media, if this is produced by them, everything that is put out is something they want us to know, so we can learn what they want to highlight. Right? I don't know why this is the example that popped in my head, and this is not in my notes. This is completely off the top of the dome. Like if you're putting together like a Backstreet Boys or an NSYNC, because they used to be put together, literally like would have no chemistry. They'd just be like, you guys are all generically looking like boy band. Let's go sing. Whoever's getting all the solos, that's who they want to be the star, right? It's like, oh, look at this. He's the solo on all the big hits. They're trying to turn him into Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's somebody super featured in the Panthers' own propaganda videos or an idea that is super featured in the Panthers' own propaganda videos, that's the Panthers saying, we're trying to turn this guy into Justin Timberlake. Or at least they're trying to make that part of their identity.
This guy's a star.
They are trying to make Bryce Young a star. Makes sense. But more importantly, they're selling us the dream of something we've been asking for. The four horsemen of the franchise, David Tepper, Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, Bryce Young. They're selling us the dream, with the lead singer being Dave Canales, actually. I mean, this was the Dave Canales showcase on their state-owned propaganda video known as Blueprint. They showed endearing moments where it appears as if he doesn't know he's being recorded as he talks to his kids about how cool it is to be on a private jet. They showed him at the Senior Bowl interacting with college coaches. They showed this was like the Dave Canales variety hour with appearances from Dave Tepper. Very, very, very minor role for Dave Tepper, but he popped up a few times. Appearances by Dan Morgan, playing the role of the former college roommate of Dave Canales, who the only reason he was there was to lift weights at the beginning and then to say, me and Dave Canales are close, we're buddies, we're close, we're buddies, alignment, alignment, alignment. And then there was Bryce Young. And whoo boy, did Dave Canales know how to hype up Bryce Young. Here he is doing just that as part of the Blueprint.
Bryce is so much to be excited about.
There we go.
Especially for me coming into this situation where my high hope is that we're playing high stakes games and we have a chance to win the game at the end. We have a guy who can do that, who can lead us there and who can perform in any type of situation. So I think that's the first part of it. And then there's all these other tools that he has, his intellect, his athleticism, his accuracy. You know, I'm seeing it every day right now as we go out to practice.
He can win in the clutch. He can win in all situations except for the one last year. The accuracy, the touch. Dave, I mean, if there was anything negative, they did show, by the way, Bryce Young doing something Dave Canales didn't like in the Blueprint. His feet weren't perfect on a progression, and Dave Canales was right there, all energetic. What I want you to do is your feet here, first and second read, then pop to the check down. Okay? And they were like, yeah! And then they went along with the next play.
But Bryce was the one to ask them, like, hey, was that right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, hey, we're working together, guys. This is the guy that's going to make our first overall pick from 2023, the guy.
They want that four group, that Tepper, Morgan, Canales, Young group in this whatever half hour, I don't even know how long it was, 25-minute episode 1 to just be like a high school reunion where the four best friends that sat in the back of every class got back together and it was like they never left. Then there was the new guy, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson was not in this thing a lot. Right? To the point where if he is truly, and I know there are some rumors of this coming from Pittsburgh where he played the early part of his career, if he truly was like diva, you might be like, well, why weren't there more Deontay Johnson highlights? And then there's one conversation and you're like, oh, never mind, he's completely satisfied. That's 100% good enough for the only appearance of Deontay Johnson in this entire thing. It was Brad Idzik, their offensive coordinator, had a one-on-one meeting in an office with Deontay Johnson, and this is what he said.
I think I lost that one, Tim.
All
I'm
right.
sorry about that.
Well, I'll paraphrase. What he says is, what Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator, says is, listen, when I got here, I told Dave, meaning Dave Canales, we needed that X receiver, right, that one-on-one wide receiver that makes defenses wrong. If they play you with a corner and don't give help with the safety or somewhere else, then they bleeped up. And he said, and that's you. They're going to play. And this wasn't like selling him on, oh, you're going to have a big role. This struck me as you don't go this far with the description of his role unless you believe it, right? So they're going to play him in that Mike Evans role. They're going to play him in the, hey, Bryce Young, you have an override, right? If we call a play, whatever that is, pass play, whatever that is, switch, whatever. And again, I'm not going to name every route. If we call a pass play and they man up Deontay and they do not give him help over the top, you have every right to override whatever the read was and give Deontay a chance to win. That is music to the ears of any wide receiver. The other thing we learned about Brad Idzik, it makes a lot of sense that he and Dave Canales are buddies. Dave Canales, Mr. Energy, Mr. Optimism, he walks onto the practice field and is like, come on, let's go, giving high fives and everything, right? He's an energy guy. Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator, still wears cleats to practice.
Nice.
I'm actually surprised Dave Canales doesn't. That is one of those high energy moves, right? That is leading from the front, as they say, right? Like, jog over, get water. Oh, I'm racing you.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm here first.
It's that coach. Oh, can't get the old guy, huh? Even though Brad Idzik might be young. He might have players older than he is.
I think he's like 36.
Adam Thielen might be looking at him like, all right, young buck. you can untie the sneakers or the cleats there.
He's 32 going on 33.
So Adam Thielen probably is older than him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he laces them up. He brings energy. If there was one thing that other than the alignment, that 4 and the praising of Deontay Johnson, if there was another thing that this state-owned propaganda was trying to tell us, it was that the group of Panthers brass, the core, they have energy to spare. Starts with Dan Morgan waking up early just to stretch and lift in his gym.
I love how that's how they started it. Dan Morgan, dog. Just in here, like, I'm getting this 4:30 in the morning, coffee, getting this workout in.
The other thing about the dog, he was talking to somebody at like either the Combine or the Senior Bowl, Dan Morgan was, and he goes, I said I want dogs, and they seem to like that, so I'll probably say that again.
Yeah.
And the guy he was talking to went, yeah, however they spell it, right? Ha, ha, ha. And Dan looked at him seriously and was like, DAWGS. What do you... No, not however they spell it. It's DAWGS. He didn't like run with the joke at all. He got dead serious on, no, we spell dogs with the W around here. It's all Panthers Blueprint. You can check it out. There's a quick appearance. They took some audio from this show, so we know they're listening.
They've taken stuff from us in the past.
True. Panthers Playbook, they've taken it from. This show, they've taken it from. So Panthers Brass, Panthers Marketing, how are you doing? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about my friends, my partners over at Miller Lending. Everybody can listen to this, not just the brass for local teams. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending, I want to highlight here because they are the home of the no-cost loan. People are actually starting to be curious, maybe even skeptical of all of the closing costs and fees. For years and years and years and years and years and years, everybody just kind of accepted it, right? When you got a mortgage, when you got one of those home loans, it just, all right, comes with costs and fees, sure, whatever, right? The money is so large, you're so overwhelmed, you just kind of accept it. Well, now people are starting to look into it and go, is this a junk fee? Do I have to pay this? Who's making out with this? Who gets this money? And the good news for Miller Lending is they're not subject to any of that scrutiny because they do no closing cost loans. They do zero fees, zero third-party fees. Zero means zero at Miller Lending, so they don't have to worry about any of that. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Coming up next, we have the next edition, the next question, in our series of questions about the college football season. 99 questions about the college football season. Today's is simple. Who has the best chance to win the ACC right now? Stick around.
99.9 The Fan and Arise Urology Clinic present Men's Health Month. More than 30 million men suffer from prostate-related issues impacting their quality of life. When men near the age of 40, they may start to experience growth with their prostate. Make sure to get your yearly checkups with your primary doctor to ensure everything is healthy. It's vital. Help yourself and prevent long-term complications before they happen. Men's Health Month is powered by Arise. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men at 919-964-3750 or visit corewavetherapy.com.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, have you heard the amazing news from Boost Mobile? When you switch to Boost, you get a Samsung Galaxy A15 5G or Moto G Stylus 5G for free. Need another reason to switch? Boost offers high-speed data at low prices with no annual contracts and no credit checks. Switching is easy. Just head to your local Boost mobile store for a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G or Moto G Stylus 5G. New customers only. Requires port-in and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating stores for details.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You guys do so many things: windows, doors, siding, gutters, awnings, roofing.
Roofing is the most important part of your home. You want to make sure you keep the water out. Our roofing products, made by Certainty, the shingle roofing, it comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles, but it has a 50-year, 5-star warranty on all material and labor, backed by the manufacturer. It's non-prorated.
I've never heard of a 50-year warranty. I always hear like 20 or 30.
Unless a tree hits the house or you have some storm damage, it'll be the last roof you ever put on your home.
I like that. What about metal roofing?
We do a lot of metal roofing. We got the standing seam, comes in a lot of different colors, and it'll last forever, but it doesn't have the 50-year warranty like the shingled roofing does.
Sounds like you're pushing shingle roofing, which you should, probably.
It's affordable, and again, it's hard to beat because it's really the last roof you'll have to pay to put on your home.
Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for the next in our series of 99 questions about the college football season. And it may seem broad, who has the best chance to win the ACC right now, but it's inspired by something specific. NC State fans, you may want to be sitting down. The ACC network. So talk about state-owned media. This is conference. This is the ACC network. Put out a tweet with a graphic that said, best chance to win the ACC via ESPN FPI. That's Football Power Index. The team with the best chance to win the ACC, this is as of right now, Florida State. 26.2% of the time they're winning the ACC.
Okay.
That's with DJ Uiagalelei leading the way.
And their top two receivers gone. And
true. A lot more. Trey Benson. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of guys. Jared Verse. The guy that's also out with Jared Verse with the Rams, the defensive tackle who was taken in the second round. Anyway, whole bunch. Clemson, next up in the most likely to win the ACC, this according to ESPN FPI, tweeted out by the ACC network, 19.3% for Clemson. Third best chance goes to Louisville, 12% chance.
Okay.
This is where NC State fans start going, well, we must be fourth, right? Nope. Miami, 4th, 9.9% chance to win the ACC. This is where
What?
This is where NC State fans probably going, well, we're definitely top 5.
We're top 5.
Nope. SMU, 9% chance to win the ACC.
Bruh.
What are we looking at here? We're looking at roughly, let me do some quick math here, which is always dangerous. But we got roughly 45. We'll throw another 75% chance, according to ESPN FPI. One of those 5 schools wins, and none of them are from the state of North Carolina. Florida State, Clemson, Louisville, Miami, and SMU combined to be the 5 most likely to win the ACC. What am I missing? SMU, don't we usually knock teams when they step up in competition?
Usually.
When you go from a lesser conference to a bigger conference, doesn't everybody go, there's no way? Instead, they're like, well, actually, probably going to play great. NC State, I think, has a legitimate gripe. I think it's obvious they're one of the top 5 teams most likely to win the ACC. And I'm not even saying they're a favorite, right? If you want to put Florida State above them after they ran the table last year and obviously they have something going, fine. We can have that conversation. Even Clemson, because Clemson has the recruiting pedigree and you may have thought they've had a blip, but they're not completely fallen off. Fine. I don't see how those other 3 teams are dramatically above or even above a team like NC State. To the point where I'm looking at ESPN and I'm going, if that's what your football power index says, maybe it's time to change the inputs. If obviously one of the top 5 teams, maybe a top 3 or 4 team in the standings or in the likelihood of winning, isn't a top 5 team in your algorithms, maybe it's time to tweak the algorithms. And I'm not sitting here trying to disrespect Miami or SMU or Louisville. I'm just sitting here saying, let's call a spade, right? Because I hear you on some of the more realistic NC State fans will hit you with, well, let's see if we can win 10 games first. Or, let's get to the ACC championship before you start throwing them in there. Let's not pretend like SMU has been some kind of world beater.
Or Miami.
Recent
years.
Or Louisville.
Or Clemson the last few years. Let's call it what it is.
Basically, and I hate to say this, the only one that kind of bucks that trend would be Florida State.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I'm sure there's upset people from UNC and upset people from, I don't know, Pitt or one of the Virginia schools, Virginia or Virginia Tech. But
yeah, they stink.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're upset. I'm just saying I'm sure there are fans that are upset. But I look at this as almost an insult to one specific team. Who has the best chance to win the ACC right now? I don't think I'm willing to let NC State fall out of the top 3. If you wanted to put Florida State and Clemson above, maybe, right? Because a lot of the reason why you're excited about NC State is because of the quality of player they've added through the portal and recruiting this offseason, right? Also, I think Tony Gibson deserves a shout-out. I'm always excited about their defense. He's their defensive coordinator who just signed a 3-year extension. But I'm looking at this and saying, okay, if NC State brings in all these high pedigree, all these stars, meaning 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, both in the transfer portal and the recruiting portal, do we call it a recruiting portal? And in traditional recruiting.
Yes.
The recruiting portal.
They're just transferring from high school.
That's a Dabo saying. Don't get me started on that. But if that's why we're excited about NC State, you probably have to be equally as excited about Florida State and Clemson because they do recruit at a high level and they do bring in the 3 stars, the 4 stars, the 5 stars. I don't know, man. Louisville being second highest, third highest, whatever it is. Somebody's got to call the ACC network and say what kind of information are we pumping out to the public here on the ACC network Twitter? What's going on here?
Who created this football power index?
And how do we change it? How do we get a different little weighing of, I don't know, strength of schedule, whatever, however they decide what goes into those ridiculous equations?
Is it the same people that created the net rankings in college basketball?
If it's whoever created the net rankings, then I'm sorry I spent the last 6 minutes talking about it. It just settles down to they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Then it's
surprised they didn't put a Big 12 school in there to win the ACC. Kansas State,
well,
2.
SMU.
Yeah.
That's not an ACC school, not yet at least. They definitely have it. The 5th most likely team to win the ACC has uniforms I've never seen before in this graphic I'm looking at. They actually look kind of like Duke, if we're being honest. So take some solace in that, Duke. Just go Photoshop, take the SMU, put the Blue Devils there, and call it a day. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis has something for us right now.
Hey, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. Look, Law Tigers are giving away something pretty amazing here. You got to enter by the end of the week because do you want to win a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Harley-Davidson Performance Bagger? Well, Law Tigers are giving you the ultimate trip of a lifetime. Just go to stylinginsturgis.com to enter. Again, stylinginsturgis.com to enter today. This contest to enter ends this week. So you got to do it now if you haven't done it already. Again, it's a custom Harley-Davidson Performance Bagger, so custom Harley, and a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, including a VIP stay at Glencoe Camping Resort. That custom Harley-Davidson that I told you about, built by Lane Splitter Garage, sound system by Rockford Fosgate, and so many other things. But you got to go to stylinginsturgis.com to enter today. If you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company just wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth. And your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have an off-season update. See, I want it to be the season so bad, but I can't even say off-season. Drake Maye. We have an off-season Drake Maye update from his off-season practices up there in New England. It's coming up next.
Hey, it's Laura with the Good Feet store. To my fellow mothers, we can do just about anything. But sometimes, don't our bodies disagree? As a working mom of 3, those long days bouncing between the office and the kids would be even more challenging if I was suffering with foot, knee, or back pain. Almost all of my activities involve being on my feet. That's where my Good Feet arch supports come in. From playing hide and seek to walking around the office, life is go, go, go. Moms, we can't afford to let lower body pain slow us down. At the Good Feet store, we offer a 3-step system of arch supports that are personalized to your feet and your lifestyle. They're designed to work in almost any shoe, whether you're dressing for a day in the office or a walk around the neighborhood. Our arch support specialists will walk you through the benefits of each support and how they work together to reduce or even eliminate your foot, knee, and back pain. If you're looking for reliable support for your busy mom lifestyle, visit your local Good Feet store. Stop in for a free fitting and test walk or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com.
Helping kids find their place, stay safe, and learn is the most fulfilling job imaginable. Be part of that journey with the Wake County Public School System. Now hiring bus drivers, mechanics, and instructional assistants, and offering competitive salaries, attractive benefits including retirement, and opportunities to grow. Whether you want a flexible job driving buses, maintaining and repairing them, or a rewarding position helping teachers, you'll love working for the largest school district in North Carolina. Apply now at careers.wcpss.net and discover a place where anything is possible.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I ordered the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Hey, you love what you love. So save on your faves like a sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles for just $2.50.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Are you struggling to get a good night's sleep? Look no further than Parkway Sleep. For 20 years, we have been your locally owned and operated sleep center.
I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Did you know that people are waiting a staggering 6 to 8 months for a sleep study at other sleep labs? At Parkway, we understand the importance of your sleep needs. That's why we offer openings within weeks, not months, saving you time.
Don't let sleepless nights take over your life. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate at 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
We don't want you on our team.
You're not the right fit for this job.
You're too slow and fast.
Don't you care how you look?
Weight bias hurts. Go to stopweightbias.com. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
Train heating and cooling systems are engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm going to jump in before Tom Sawyer from Rush plays too much, because then I'm just going to start quoting the entire movie of I Love You, Man. Start calling people Jobin. And if you don't know the movie, you don't get the reference, but just know that song plays prominently. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Patriots and their new coach Mayo and Maye, right? Get it? Coach Mayo and then obviously Drake Maye. They're going to have to notice something. They're going to have to learn something. And it struck me in how they're treating the updates on Drake Maye's offseason that they haven't gotten there yet. The Patriots better realize that patience is not possible with Drake Maye. There's an ESPN.com article out right now, and it's coaches, it's offensive coordinator, head coach, it's everybody talking about Drake Maye during OTAs and during the offseason, and their speaking point: patience, 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 patience. Oh, he's learning. Oh, he's getting, but he has to earn his reps. He has to earn his opportunities. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. You drafted a quarterback 3rd overall in the draft to a bad team. You can pretend like he's not going to play. He's playing. You can get him ready to play, or you can get someone else ready to play. Either way, Drake Maye is going to play. Now, might not be week 1. Hear me out. Might not be week 1. Week 7. After you're 2-4 to start, you're not projected to win any games. I just saw sports books. Somebody online did this. I did not have the time. But they went to all the different sports books that have put over-unders on games already and scoring totals for each team, and found which books think the teams are going to be the lowest scoring. The Patriots are so far and away the lowest scoring team expected this season. Their offense is not going to look good, and every single time you draft a quarterback in the top 5 and your offense does not look good, they don't stay on the bench. I hate the debates we're going to have to deal with Drake Maye. I hate it. Should he start week 1? Should he not? Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes didn't start right away. Oh, no, you could ruin him. Sam Darnold. Oh, no, you could do this. You could do that. He needs to develop. He needs time. He needs to redshirt. People throw the word redshirt around. He needs to redshirt. No, he should play. Experience matters. We're going to do the conversations. Everyone is. The fact is, by week 8, he'll be starting, and 2 months on the bench isn't enough to change the world. Oh, he watched that offensive catastrophe we put on the field in week 4. Now he's so much better equipped to start week 7 when it's finally, right, the oven dings and he's ready. He's now completely seasoned. It's just not how it works. If you wanted to draft a quarterback and give him time on the bench on a bad team, draft him in the 4th round. If you want a quarterback who's going to have high expectations put on him and he's going to have to play right away, and in many cases to avoid a PR catastrophe, play pretty well, you draft him in the top 5. Like if Anthony Richardson was the most prospect we can remember. The guy completed like 50% of his passes in college and didn't play that many games, but big, tall, strong, fast, laser rocket arm, all of those things, interviewed well. He was a project. The guy was playing and hurt by like halfway through the season. His season started and ended before even, people are saying Drake Maye is going to see the field. And Drake Maye was a much more polished passer in his college days and would kind of indicate less of an on-ramp. The fact is, Drake Maye is going to be starting. How you deal with that news is how this season is going to be judged. So, and by the way, State fans, I hear you. Jacoby Brissett, I hear you. Good player. Team would probably be better with him out there. That's irrelevant to this situation because you drafted a quarterback number 3 overall. The difference between Jacoby Brissett and Drake Maye might be 7 wins or 4 wins. Who knows? Maybe it is that big. That'd be a massive gap, by the way, for one player. But maybe it is. What does 7 wins get you? More high fives, more pats on the back, more, I guess, worse draft picks? I hate the debates that are going to be, and it's already starting with the patience. It's as if they're preparing us for, we're probably not going to play in week 1. And I'm going, that's fine for you. It'll be less experience week 7 when you do start him. And the faster you realize that, the better. Because then you start planning for him to be in that situation. And that's better for everybody. It's better for the receivers. Pop Douglas. Who else do they have up there?
Who?
You don't like Pop Douglas?
Who's Pop Douglas?
Pop Douglas was, I think, their leading receiver last year.
Oh, he was? Pop Douglas sounds like a baseball player from 1936.
Pop Douglas, yeah. Pop Douglas and Pee Wee Reese. They're the shortstop and second baseman for the Brooklyn Dodgers. No, Pop Douglas, he's got to get used to a quarterback. It should be Drake Maye.
I will say this, though. If they feel like, you know what, rushing him is going to hurt his long-term development, then don't rush him.
You're going to rush him. That's my point. You're like, if he's not ready week 1, he's not ready this year. But he's going to play this year.
Yeah, he's going to play some. But again, don't throw him out there week 1 if he's not ready to do it. Don't throw him out there week 1.
Week 1, week 8, is there a difference?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, there is.
There really is not. What do you think he learns in those 2 months watching someone else prepare to be the starter?
If he's not ready, he's not ready.
Then he's not ready. Then you're not going to play him at all, and that's unrealistic once you draft him 3rd overall. If he's not ready, don't play him. Then redshirt him. Then treat him like Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. The problem is those guys were on good teams, so it was sensible for them to not play right away because they had Alex Smith and they had Brett Favre and they had a good team around them and they were making the playoffs. If you don't have that and you draft a guy in the top 5, you're playing him. Whether it's week 1, week 8, you're playing him. If you think there's a huge difference between playing week 1 and week 8, I'm just going to wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Okay.
Because, like, once you get on the conveyor belt of game plans and stuff, it's not like they're taking Drake Maye off to the side to, like, work on fundamentals. You're just trying to memorize the Falcons' defense or the game plan for that week. It's not like there's a lot of time for personal development in a NFL game week where you're like, oh, I'm ironing out those wrinkles that they didn't like about my game in preseason. Maybe there's a couple days for that on the bye week. Maybe. Which is why so often you do see like, oh, we're going to put the rookie in the game after the bye week. I'm like, hope those 4 days really ironed out all those reasons that he wasn't the starter before the bye week.
Yeah, their bye week's not until week 14.
He's playing before that.
Yeah.
He's playing before that. Can you imagine? They're just 2-9, Drake Maye on the bench. What kind of a cluster that would cause? He's not good enough to play for a 2-9 team. You're like, well, he's not ready. It's unrealistic. Whether you think it's best for him to sit an entire season or best for him to play is irrelevant. He's going to play. You drafted him number 3 overall. When's the last time a top 5 pick didn't start by halfway through his rookie year? It's probably like Carson Palmer or something. Taking a guess on that. Don't quote me. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The good news is, do the Patriots play the Panthers this year?
I do not believe they do.
They don't, because if they did, Drake Maye would probably have a good day running the ball because the Panthers don't have edge rushers right now. At least if they played today, there would be breaking containment of the pocket quite often for whoever's playing against the Panthers.
Plenty of that last year.
Because the edge rushers, I mean, they're not MIA because it's a voluntary OTA, but they're not there, which is a problem. Jadeveon Clowney, K'Lavon Chaisson are not at OTAs. DJ Wonnum is still recovering from an injury that they were aware of when they signed him. It's kind of their 3 top pass rushers, right? With Wonnum and Jadeveon Clowney expected to be the starters and Chaisson expected to come right off the bench. Former first-round pick. First of all, let's let Dave Canales give us some info. Here's the head coach on the absence of Clowney and others.
We don't know what we have until we can kind of get into those competitive settings together as a group, communicating and talking through stuff, So, of course, we're going to, as we add our players back in, during our mini camp, during our training camp, that's an opportunity for us to really get the communication that we want. But in the meantime, what an opportunity. What a great opportunity for the guys that are here, that are working every day, that are hearing the messaging, not just from the offense, defense, and special teams, but from me, as far as who we want to be as a team. So I really, really thank the guys that are here, and we've had a great turnout for the most part, to be able to build the team that we want to be.
It is more quality over quantity isn't the right way to say it, but the logic's kind of the same, right? Having 2, 3, 4 guys not available at OTAs, not a big deal at all, right? Most teams have somebody whose cousin's getting married and has to be out of town, somebody who's asking for a new contract so they're intentionally not there, couple guys injured. Like every team has their handful. It becomes more of something where you're like, ooh, if it's all at one specific position, right? If you like if one wide receiver is asking for a new contract, a tight end has to miss and a couple D tackles are out, you're like, all right, that's fine. When you show up at practice and you're like, I guess we're rolling out the undrafted rookie free agents at edge rusher against our starting defense or against our starting offense, it's where it becomes like, are they going to hold back practice? Like, are they going to know, are we going to have to slow everything down because we can't toss in our veterans to lead the way? And oh, by the way, I would much rather have a depleted tight end room than edge rush. Edge rusher is important. Some might say it's the most important position on a defense. This is where Derek Brown, and actually, we talked about the blueprint kind of webisode that the Panthers put out behind the scenes of their offseason. They did show Derek Brown being a little bit more of a teacher, right? Like, oh, put your hands like this, and oh, here he's teaching defensive line. He might have to be the kid you cheat off of on a test, right? Because he's a defensive tackle. He'll be right next to the edge rushers. When the edge rushers that are filling in for Clowney, Chason, and Wanham are in the drills next to Brown, he might have to be mumbling under his breath. Take a step out. You got wide contain. You got wide. Cross with me. Shh. Stop talking. Come behind my back. I'm going to take the outside. We have a twist. Like, he might have to be the guy kind of, cheating off the test, right? Like the catcher in Space Jam to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Curveball, low and away. Don't swing.
Yeah.
Fastball, down the middle. Swing. Really thought you were going to get that one, Mike. Really thought you were going to hit that one. I told you not to swing. I couldn't help it. That might have to be the defensive tackles to the edge rushers during OTAs. And once mandatory minicamps show up, you hope the guys show up. If not, you'll be in the exact same book. Because everything that Canales was saying is true, right? With these guys out, it is an opportunity for whoever is here. Right, there are guys getting reps with the starters that coming into this offseason were hoping to be third string. Like
it's like DJ Johnson and Amari Barno.
Like basically. That is a massive opportunity for them. But you can't say it's a huge opportunity for those guys without pointing out the missed opportunity for the guys they're replacing. Right? You can't say it's just a great opportunity for Lou Gehrig without pointing out, well, Wally Pipp probably didn't think so. There's opportunities and missed opportunities all over. By the way, not suggesting that Jadeveon Clowney or DJ Wanham are going to lose their job in the way that Wally Pipp did. Just saying, for every opportunity that one has, it's a missed opportunity for someone else.
The thing that surprises me is Chason, the former first-round pick from Jacksonville back in 2020, underperformed in his career so far. And he got a 1-year contract, basically a prove-it deal, a chance to prove himself one more time in another franchise. Why are you not at OTAs? If you're on a 1-year prove-it deal and you're not there, I'm sorry. I think you would want every leg up possible in order to, A, make the team, and B, prove yourself.
I hear that. I will say I saw some – I don't agree with – like if I'm a player, I'm at OTAs. I'm just making that, like, unless there is like
especially new coach, new team, the whole bit.
Unless there is like a serious like family funeral or something. Like I'm at OTAs if I'm a player.
That's different. Yeah.
But I will say I've seen some social media videos of him working out. I believe they are current. They're not like I do think at some point because Gronk told this story. Gronk said that they had to run conditioning and send videos. It might have been during COVID.
Yeah.
You had to run conditioning and send videos of you doing it to the strength coach. And it was like one a day or one every three a week or something like that. So the first day of conditioning, he went out there with like 12 different shirts and ran the conditioning 12 times, changing his shirt in between, and then just sent every couple days a video like, hey, here you go, did it again. And he just crushed himself, like just ran a marathon in one day and then didn't have to worry about it. So like sometimes when I see guys posting all those, I'm like, I wonder if they just went in the gym one day this offseason and pulled a Gronk and just changed their gear and like, all right, now I'm going to post these. Fans are going to think I'm working hard. But I did see a video of Chason working out, and I think it was this week, and it looked like he was somewhere putting work in. I'm with you, which is like, cool, get to OTAs. But if you're on a prove-it deal and it's this, like you feel your career is hanging on by a thread, like if I don't perform this year, I'm going to have to update my resume. I'm going to have to figure out what LinkedIn is. I'm going to have to do something that I don't want to do. Maybe there is like I want to do it my way. I want to work out how I worked out when I was a beast becoming a first-round pick. I want to do my thing, and that way if I go down with the ship, I have no regrets, right? It's not like, oh, well, I was listening to the strength coach, and that's why. Maybe.
So like Frank Reich, hey, you know what? This thing's going down. I'm going to start calling plays.
I'm going to call plays, exactly. I want to control my own destiny. If this boat is going to crash into an iceberg, I want to steer it into the iceberg. I don't want someone else to. I get the logic. I don't know if I agree with it, but I do understand the logic. It's, and you've seen things like this in the past where, I want a second opinion. You go do your own thing. It happens. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a giveaway that I am jealous I am not eligible for. We have 2 tickets. We have 2 tickets to Sunday at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. This is not this Sunday, next Sunday. It is also Father's Day, so winning this pair of tickets could lead to an awesome Father's Day gift, right? Just tell your dad, hey, go ahead and clear your Sunday. We're going to do something. I'm going to pick you up early. And he thinks like, oh, we're going to have to go to a brunch, right? Oh, I bet you the grandkids made me another macaroni necklace. And then you pick them up and you take them to the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, and that would be an all-time surprise. To win the tickets, though, you have to text in. To enter to win the tickets, you have to text in GOLF, GOLF, to 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Pair of tickets to the U.S. Open. You text that in, you subscribe to our newsletter, you're entered to win.
Yes, this is a text to win as I watch the 2 of our phone lines light up for people.
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I appreciate it. It's a text to win.
If you're calling to offer a bribe, I wish, but we can't. If you were going to trade, if you were going to go like, hey, I got, Panthers suite tickets, you might get a drink thrown on you by a Tepper. Would you trade?
I might take that.
We can't. I wish we could, but we can't negotiate that way. So to enter to win, text GOLF, GOLF, to 919-860-5326. As Dennis pointed out, it is a text. And then there's a link and things. Do what you got to do. Quickly here before the top of the hour, JJ Redick, Shams Charania, the Lakers are zeroing in on JJ Redick to be their head coach. There's been a little bit of pushback. Here's Brian Windhorst on not believing it's a done deal.
I know that there's been a lot of speculation and belief that this is going to be J.J. Redick's job, and that may end up being true at the end of the finals. But the people that I talk to still are telling me that there is a process to go through here. This is not a done deal. They still have multiple candidates. James Borrego was in last week for an extended meeting. As far as I am aware, James Borrego was the only candidate who has come to Los Angeles for a long-term interview. So do I think it's going to be JJ? Probably. Is it going to happen at the end of the finals? Probably. Is it a done deal? Not to my understanding.
Which is different than Shams saying zeroing in on. That's like the language they use when they know the draft picks, but they're not allowed to spoil them on draft day. The New England Patriots are zeroing in on Drake Maye before it was announced. What I have to say to JJ, if it happens, is this. You must love being in the spotlight and bipolarizing. Because remember, it wasn't that long ago JJ was interviewing for the Hornets job. And I actually thought that might be an opportunity for him, right? Under the radar, low pressure. The Hornets are not going to be anybody's favorite or least favorite team outside of the state of Carolina. Taking the Lakers job as a first job is the exact opposite of that. It is a choice. It's like saying, I want to skip the preseason, I want to skip the regular season, straight to Game 7. Now I want that to be my coaching debut because LeBron is in his 40s and he's running out of time, and the Lakers are the Lakers, and everybody has high expectations, and Anthony Davis is getting hurt a lot, so we have to take advantage of decisions to make him healthy. I'm starting to think JJ just might love scrutiny. I'm starting to think JJ might just love being the center of a magnifying glass. Because it was a choice to go to Duke after the J. Will Battier era, right? Go be that guy right after that. It's a choice to latch on to like Chris Paul as like your dude in the NBA because Chris Paul's a bit polarizing, right? He's a bit of a, those Clippers teams, I thought they were really fun to watch. The Blake Griffin, the Chris Paul, the DeAndre Jordan, J.J. Redick, that whole crew. But man, did they complain to the refs a lot. They loved being in that mix. J.J. Redick, then what does he do? He goes into the media, starts calling out, like, what was it, Bob Cousy for playing against firemen and plumbers back in their day. And, like, he's got the controversy down. I think he just likes being in scrutiny. So if you're all about the scrutiny, if you're all about people combing through everything you say and complaining, Lakers head coaching job is a pretty good spot to start. It's like quarterback of the Cowboys, coach of the Lakers, shortstop for the Yankees. I don't know if you get much more scrutinized than those spots. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals. Actually, they knocked that door down. They're knocking on the door of the finals. And DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. If you're new to the whole sports betting thing, I've been emphasizing this. You don't have to jump into the deep end. You don't have to go for the most highly scrutinized bets. Super easy to get started. Try betting on something simple like a team to win or an over-under. I think they will score more points than this in the game. Make that selection, place your bet. It's that simple. Here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, all you have to do to get that deal is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code TIMD. That's TIMD with no spaces. And you'll get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. We're going to take a break. When we come back, football at 4, including a word of caution for the fans out there. Stick around.
It's time for our countdown to the U.S. Open, teed up by Talk It Out NC. 2000 was the year of Tiger Woods. At the height of his dominance of the sport, Tiger posted a 12-under par winning total at Pebble Beach, a 15-stroke victory.
And Tiger Woods is the 100th U.S. Open champion in history.
Tiger cracked open a spectacular performance, playing his first 22 holes and final 26 holes without a single bogey. There's your countdown to the U.S. Open, teed up by Talk It Out NC.
You put sunscreen on when you go out in the sun. Did you know that the sun could hurt your car, too? It's true. Keep cool this summer and protect the interior from fading and cracking with a custom window tint from SoundStation and Security. The sun's harmful UV rays can also hurt your paint on the exterior. That's why SoundStation and Security offers custom ceramic coating. Think of it as a little sunscreen with SoundStation and Security. 2 locations in downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Grab a frosty mug and try the newest flavor from Bluebell, A&W Root Beer Float Ice Cream. A creamy vanilla-flavored ice cream swirled together with an A&W Root Beer flavored sherbet. A new way to enjoy your favorite root beer float.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters and Walmart Neighborhood Markets.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time!" So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time.
Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bo Sauce is back. That's right, Bo Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bo Sauce? Then it's Bo time.
It's Men's Health Month. WakeMed Primary Care wants to remind you to schedule your annual checkup. It's important to know your health numbers related to cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight, and BMI before it leads to chronic diseases. Focus on your health and preventing disease by building healthy habits and getting that yearly checkup and those screenings you've been putting off. To schedule your appointment, visit wakemed.org.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Secure your tickets for Grammy Award-winning bluegrass band Steep Canyon Rangers with the North Carolina Symphony at UNC Health Summerfest this Saturday night at 8 at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. Tickets available now at ncsymphony.org.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Some scattered storms for us late this afternoon and evening. Some of those will produce some blustery winds and heavy rain. It's hot out there. We'll see a high of 90 this afternoon, feeling like low 90s with the heat index. 70 tonight with storms diminishing, but a cold front comes through tomorrow. We'll see some afternoon and evening thunderstorms with a high of 90 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 96 points to 38,807.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. You can set your watch by it. We talk pigskin at 4. I have to give a hat tip to, let me actually get the official name correctly on Twitter.
Talking football, right?
All right. I don't hate it. To Josh on Twitter. Shout out to Josh. Because I don't even know how long ago it was. We asked the question on who is the most improved position group
it was about
on the Panthers. Yeah, about a week ago. And a couple days after, he tweeted this at me. Late entry. Just watched the most improved position group video for the Panthers, so he's obviously watching on our YouTube. We appreciate it.
Nice.
Everyone else should do that as well. Please subscribe, 99.9 The Fan YouTube. He then added, I have to say that I really, truly believe it is the coaching staff, if that can count. So he was saying the coaching staff was the most improved position for the Carolina Panthers this offseason.
I feel great about playing football right now.
And my initial reaction, right, to kind of walk you through how I took it was like, it's funny. It's a good I'm a fan of outside the box thinking, right? If somebody would have thrown like front office at me, I might have gone like, hey, that's a good one too. Dan Morgan over Scott Fitterer. Look at that. If somebody would have said like parking or something, I don't know. Like I'm a fan of outside the box thinking, so I was a fan of this contribution. And then I went, ooh, wait a second. My alarm started going off. Danger, Will Robinson. At this point last year, just about everyone thought the Panthers' probably most improved position group would have been coach as well. Going from Matt Rhule, Dennis, you know all about Matt Rhule.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Yes, I do. My guy.
Going from, you do kind of like Matt Rhule, don't you?
I do. He gave me so much. He gave me so much.
Matt Rhule to Frank Reich's coaching staff, we were probably, if we would have asked that question last year, Josh probably could have sent in the exact same tweet.
Mm-hmm.
And there lies the caution, right? Coaching staffs are different because everything, by the way, I'm not even disagreeing with like the narrative. Everything we've heard about Dave Canales and his coaching staff has been awesome. Andy Dalton spoke with the media at OTAs. This is what he had to say about the difference between last year and this year.
I will say this, and this has nothing to do with last year. This is how everything to do with what we're doing right now. Dave and Brad came in, and they know exactly what they want. They know what they want it to look like. They know how they want to install it, and they have had a plan from the very beginning, and it's been known. And like from one of the first conversations that I've had with both those guys, it was like, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to install it, and it's going to build throughout OTAs and then into training camp.
Huh. First of all, how does that have nothing to do with last year? It has the fact that you're saying that now, Andy, I need you to feel comfortable stepping up and talking. Last year, why didn't you say something about them not having a plan? You've been around the block a few times. You've been to the playoffs a bunch of times. You've thrown for like 35,000 yards in the NFL. Voice your opinions when they're negative as much as positive. They're both necessary. You have to see something and say something. But here's the thing. Coaching is very much results-based. Playing can be process-based. Coaching is very results-based. We can talk context for players, right? If Dennis and I sit here and we say the most improved position, I think I said it was wide receivers, and Dennis, I think you said offensive line, right?
Yes.
Okay. We can give context to that, right? Mm-hmm. Wide receivers were the most improved. If they don't have a great season, if they don't have like statistical success, you can look at it and go, well, the quarterback was getting hit because the offensive line was bad. Or the quarterback got hurt and they had to play with the backups or something, right? There's context there. Coaching is all about getting the best out of your players, whoever those players are, right? We can look at it and say, Bryce Young is better than he showed last year. That's a coaching thing. Improvement is big. Are you better at the end of the year than you are at the beginning of the year? That's coaching. I like the new coaches. I really like Dave Canales. Right after watching the Blueprint video, I like Brad Idzik. I haven't like seen a lot of him publicly. I like what they did in Tampa. I like Dan Morgan. I like a lot of the new with the Carolina Panthers, but it is a dangerous game to say they are improved just because they're new. Winning the press conference and winning the game take wildly different coaching skill sets, right? Because I'm just going to be honest, we don't really care how a player, outside of maybe quarterback, we don't really care how a player handles the press conference. We care how they played last year, right? So when you're talking about Dennis, you and I or you, for your most improved position group, picked offensive line.
Yep.
If Robert Hunt went out there and answered every question with a limerick, I wouldn't care, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, we just watched him push people around for a bunch of years in Miami for the Dolphins, so I don't care if he's up there speaking in haiku. Like, the press conference means nothing. For a coach, for some reason, we do take that all into account more. Like, if Dave Canales gave a bad press conference, we would have been like, can't be a leader, can't do it. But in actuality, there's not a ton, like, I mean, public speaking and speaking in front of a team, maybe a little bit of crossover there, although it's not the same. Like, speaking publicly to, like, the masses and speaking publicly to 100 guys on a football team are different skill sets, similar but different. Like, judge Dave Canales, judge if he's more improved over Frank Reich. Not because of, he brought new energy. Dude, like, well, can he make a defense be surprised one time? Like can he pick up a third down and long one time? Can he get Bryce Young an easy touchdown pass one time? That used to be like, no disrespect to my college offensive coordinator. I played college football at the University of Delaware. I used to watch like highlights, right? You go out there, you'd bust your tail for a game, like a 3:30 Saturday game. You'd come back and you'd want to catch up on all the highlights for all the other college games that took place that day. And I'd see like blown coverages and wide open touchdown passes. I'd be going, I wonder when I'm going to get one of those.
Yeah.
Right? And again, no discredit to my offensive coordinator. We didn't get any. Like ever. Ours had to be well thrown, well caught, well run routes. Like we just never had those, right? So for the Panthers, get Bryce Young a couple of those. You know what I mean? Everything Frank Reich had Bryce Young doing looked hard.
Mm-hmm.
We, based on everything we know about Dave Canales, right? We really don't know if he's going to make it easier. We know he is jacked up to do his best. We know that
I feel great about playing football.
That's
right
him.
now.
We know that he has like assistant coaches that he really enjoys. We know that he's, committed to Carolina. We know all of that. I don't know what he's gonna design up for a team that's down 10 going into the second half that needs to get some big plays fresh out of half. I don't know how he's going to motivate a defense. I don't know if he knows what he gave up when Dan Morgan traded away Brian Burns. Like, we don't know any of that yet. I think we know a lot more about players when they join a team than we do about coaches that are joining a team in a new role. If you're just taking Dave Canales as an offensive coordinator, we know a lot about him as an offensive coordinator. We just saw it in Tampa last year.
Yeah.
We don't know much about him as a head coach. It's like maybe even a better example. It would be as if you drafted a player with the intention of switching positions.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you see like a big wide receiver, they draft him and go like, he's a tight end. You're not like, hey, tight end room, way improved. You're like, let's see, what happens when he puts on 25 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. That's what I'm doing with Dave Canales. It's like we're getting a great prospect, but we're going to change positions on him, and we need to see what he looks like when he puts on, maybe it's not 25, 30 pounds, but it's 25, 30 pounds of responsibility onto his plate. Probably actually 120 pounds of responsibility on his plate.
Yeah, it's a lot. Load the bar up.
Get the bar bending. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. I know the month of May was National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and just because the month of May is over and we're already into June doesn't mean safety on the bike is any less important. It's vital. Anytime you get on the motorcycle, anytime you get on the bike, anytime you step into your car, really, make sure you're doing the right things to be safe out there on the road. As someone now who's new to riding a motorcycle, someone who enjoys it, loves being out there on the road, safety is imperative. From the gear that I wear to make sure I got the proper boots, helmet, the proper clothing that I'm wearing, everything is vital if you get into a motorcycle accident because it happens. Just like car accidents, they happen. They're unfortunate, but it's a reality, and it's something that you may have to deal with. And this is where Law Tigers comes in. Law Tigers, they're motorcycle riders too. They understand all the dangers of being out there on the road, but they also understand what it's like going through an accident. So if you are ever injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company, they just want to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, again, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hit it and quit it coming up next. And Storm Tracker, the biggest rumors swirling around Canes offseason news. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I think it's the most elite hot dog you can get is a Chicago dog. It's delicious. Do not knock it until you've tried it.
I understand it's a delicacy. It's unique to Chicago, but I'm over that. I don't necessarily need to have that. I think it's too much on a hot dog. A hot dog, maybe you want to put some sauteed onions, maybe a little bit of relish, but I think that's about all that belongs on the hot dog.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Adam Golden studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have more windows in my house than doors, but if I wanted to change out windows, how long does this whole thing take?
So typical job, couple of days, 2-3 days, and that's complete. It's very unintrusive. A lot of these home improvement projects, it can take weeks or months. You can beautify your home. You can make it more energy efficient. You can make the windows that are a lot easier to use and clean, and you can do it quickly. It's 2 to 3 day job usually.
2 to 3 days. And how many different types of windows do you have?
Where do I begin?
We don't have that much time.
We got colors, options. These things are custom made to your specifications, sized perfectly to fit the openings.
Can you put a window where I don't have a window?
We do it all the time.
Unbelievable. Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com for windows, right?
Absolutely. And doors.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for Hit It and Quit It. The part of the show where we line up the biggest sports stories, knock them out of the park, quit it and move on. Hit it and quit it. I'll start. Dennis, I noticed in our rundown I did not put this audio clip in. I assume we have it. All right, cool. So C.J. Stroud decided to be a storyteller. Okay, C.J. Stroud,
Houston Texans quarterback,
decided to be a storyteller. That's like Sally sells seashells by the seashore. I don't know why I would make myself say that. But C.J. Stroud was on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and decided he was going to tell some stories. And one of them, he was asked, but for trash talk stories, right? it's a fairly common question in the athlete off-season media runaround, right? They give us some good trash talk stories. Usually someone's like, I met Gary Payton once. He told me I was a loser. Told me I couldn't guard him, whatever it is. C.J. Stroud decided to tell a story about the Panthers. We have that audio.
It's 4th and 1 on the goal line. We call it a QB sneak. I sneak it in. And mind you, I'm already hot because the Panthers ain't draft me. So I'm like, all right, like, I like to show these cats. Yeah. And, like, for some reason, we just ain't really, like, we ain't mesh for that day. Like, I only threw for, like, 140 yards. Like, lowest in my career. It was crazy. So, and they was a nothing. Throw the ball. I'm talking to the crowd, going crazy. And then Brad came, and he was like, CJ, you ain't even like that. This one of the, I don't even know bro's name. You ain't even like that. You ain't even like that. Yeah, he was a safety.
Number 40 something.
Yeah, 42. And
he was talking crazy.
Titus was like, all your side tooth missing. And Brad hold like his grill was gone. I was like, oh.
Did he come back after that?
No, he shut up. He didn't say nothing the rest of the game.
Bro, we don't want smoke.
Bro, we don't want smoke.
I feel like we should get like Maury with the lie detector test out here. So, by the way, C.J. Stroud did not say he made the comment about Sam Franklin's tooth. He said one of his offensive linemen came running up and made the thing, why your tooth missing. And
one of his teammates.
And then, by the way, I'm saying Sam Franklin because that's number 42 for the Panthers. Safety, number 42, Sam Franklin. I feel like we need to get the lie detector test out because the lie detector test would prove that's not the truth. First of all, I like rivalries. I like if Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud want to try to one-up each other for the rest of their careers. I like that. Second of all, he's acting like he got the last word. He's acting like they won the interaction. So that play happened on the touchdown that C.J. Stroud scored. They scored to go up 13-12. Houston took the lead. What happened on the very next play? Houston went for 2. So C.J. Stroud is back on the field going for 2. Mm-hmm. And he threw a pass trying to get the 2-point conversion and go up 3. It was broken up in part by Sam Franklin Jr., who immediately started talking trash to the Houston Texans. He did not shut up the rest of the game. He did not quiet down or whatever they said. He immediately was back in the face of a Houston Texan and got pushed right after the very next play. And, oh, by the way, Carolina won the game. Conveniently left that one out. Last of all, I don't know how many I've done. 4th, 5th of all. He's not going anywhere, so the Panthers they'll see him again, even though it's once every 4 years. They'll see him again.
They'll remember.
You're darn right they'll remember. Sam Franklin's still around, by the way.
That he is.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Got him!
So WNBA has actually been in the talk a lot in sports media because guess what? There are a lot more eyeballs on WNBA.
Ironically.
Well, yes, to say the least. But in the WNBA, again, there's been a lot more eyeballs on the sport, which I think is a good thing if you are the WNBA or any other sport that's trying to compete for eyeballs and attention. It's a good thing when people are talking about your sport, including, obviously, there's Caitlin Clark. But there's also Angel Reese, the rookie out of LSU, who got ejected last night from her game. Late in the fourth quarter, she was called for a foul, said something to the officials, got a double tech. Angel Reese ejected from the game, her first ejection of her career. But that's not really the story, though, is it, Tim? There's actually something that's been brewing over a couple of days. A lot of talk about Caitlin Clark and what she's been doing for her team and what she's done for the league and the fouls that she's received and so on and so forth. But Angel Reese pointed out earlier this week that, you know what? The WNBA is not just about Caitlin Clark. There are people watching it because, well, the rivalry the two of them had going back to college. Here's what she had to say.
I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but there are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily, it's coming now.
She's not wrong.
She's not. I'm wrong at all.
Matter of fact, I'll say that in a more affirmative way. She's right.
She's right.
It's just not the time to point it out. Right now, fans, players, and coaches of any, I would say, non-Big Four sports league, right? So if it's not NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, if you are a fan, a coach, a player, if at any point in time you feel there are more people watching your sport than usual, all gas, no brakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with who gets the credit for why that more than usual people are watching. It has to be focus on taking advantage of their eyeballs. Angel Reese says people aren't just tuning in for Caitlin Clark. They're tuning in for who cares that the sentence stops after tuning in. Says people are tuning in. End of sentence. Now put together the best show you can. Put together the best basketball you can. Put together the most exciting, most competitive basketball you can. I'll even equate it to this profession. I don't care why you tune into this show. You might tune in because, I don't know, some positive, negative reason, but if you tune your radio in to 99.9 The Fan between 3 and 6 every weekday, I'm just going to try to put on the best show possible. I'm just going to try to talk about the things you want to talk about. I'm going to try to talk about the teams you want to hear about. I don't care if you're tuning in for Caitlin Clark or some other reason. I get requests, and I just got a bunch this week with, there's kind of a lot of, like, I don't want to call them fringe sports, but there's the Division II baseball going on in Cary. Mm-hmm. There's the soccer tournament going on. There were state championships going on not long ago. I get requests all the time from fans that want me to talk about sports that aren't in the limelight, right?
Off the radar.
And in some ways, that just goes against business, right? Like, we're trying to get as many people listening as possible. That's kind of our jobs. And to do that, you have to talk about the most popular things more often. If there's a reason that we do bring up the fringe sport that you love, you better put on a show, right? Like, if J.J. Watt does go to the soccer tournament, now it becomes, hey, we might talk about it for 2 minutes more than we would have. Soccer tournament better put on a show. Then maybe next year when J.J. Watt doesn't show up, we'll still watch the soccer tournament. Maybe we tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark, but then Angel Reese wasn't ejected and had a heck of a game. Then maybe next time someone else will tune in for Angel Reese or Kate Martin or Sabrina Inuascu, whoever, right? The Kelsey Plum or I was going to say Candace Parker. She just retired.
There's a lot of great players
Asia Wilson. I'm trying to give like a variety of
Elena Deladon.
Delaware.
I know.
Shout out. I don't think she's playing anymore though.
She might not be.
I think she's taken like a hiatus. My point is this: if you have eyeballs you're not used to having, don't argue about who brought the eyeballs. Instead, come together, put the best show on for those eyeballs.
Keep them coming back.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this. The NFL Hall of Fame class for this upcoming year, which includes Julius Peppers of the Carolina Panthers. Do we have to list the rest? Packers and Bears. They announced who's going to be introducing the class, right? There's some interesting ones. I saw Jarrett Payton is going to introduce a family friend who's going into the Hall of Fame. It's going to be his second time introducing someone in the Hall of Fame. The first time when he was a kid, he introduced his dad, Walter Payton, in 1993.
Pretty cool.
So now he's introducing someone else. So, football's a family type thing. I believe Dwight Freeney is going in with Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, introducing him, which Jim Irsay must be a much more likable guy to Colts than to us on the outside, because I don't know if I'd want that guy introducing me, but apparently he introduced like 3 or 4 Colts already. Like people, I'm Marvin Harrison Jr. or Marvin Harrison Sr. amongst them. And then it comes down to Julius Peppers, right? And we may have even already done this kind of this question of like, who would you have introduced? And we did that for Julius Peppers, and we thought maybe a North Carolina coach, maybe John Fox.
Yeah, former teammate, something like that.
Yeah, maybe Thomas Davis. I don't know. D'Angelo Williams. We did that whole thing. Turns out it's going to be Carl Carey.
Okay.
Now, like I just said, I read the list of introducers, and there's a lot of names I recognize, right? Jim Irsay. Didn't recognize Carl Carey. So I Googled it. I read an article from like 2005. I forget when, a year or two after Julius Peppers was drafted. And Carl Carey is one of those unsung heroes in an athlete's life. Julius Peppers, while he was at North Carolina, I'm not going to say it's all his fault. He was playing football and basketball. That's a big time management crunch. But apparently he was close to ineligibility quite a few times academically, mostly from like not doing some work, maybe not showing up, maybe not doing that. At least that's the way this article back then posed it. And Carl Carey was the tutor that whipped him into shape metaphorically, right? That got him, pled with teachers, asked for second chances on behalf of Julius Peppers. When coaches at North Carolina, both football and basketball, were worried about his eligibility, they didn't call Julius Peppers. They called Carl Carey and said, what does he need to do? What is he up to? What is he missing? What work still needs to be done? And then once he got to the NFL, somehow their relationship continued, right? All the agents start showing up. You're going to be a top pick. You're going to be a top pick, Julius. Here, I'll buy you a car. Here, I'll put you in Florida to train. Here, I'll do this. And Carl Carey said one day he looked at Julius and he was like, man, this is all crazy. What are you going to do? And Julius said, what am I going to do? I'm going to let you handle it. And that just and that just continued throughout his professional career where it was
there
like,
it is.
It's like, you don't think this tutoring thing stops when I stop going to school, right? Like, you're still my tutor. And now he's going to introduce him for the Hall of Fame. I mean, I love the stories of the people that were helping you before you were you, getting to share in the success now that you are you. Like when Julius Peppers was just Julius, the freshman that hopefully was going to turn into an athlete. This guy was there helping him, and now he gets to be there on the Hall of Fame stage.
Good for him, and good for Julius to recognize him on that. All right, let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Ruffle the lion's feathers.
Do you have 2.9?
That's such a good soundbite. Ruffle the lion's feathers.
Do you have $2.9 million?
Do I have $2.9 million that I've been hiding from everyone?
I mean, do you?
I do not.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate because a signed 1-of-1 2003-2004 Upper Deck Michael Jordan trading card sold Saturday at auction for $2.928 million. That's like $2,928,000. Now, the bid was for $2.4 million, but Golden Auctions has a 22% buyer premium, so that bumped the final total up to $2.9 million. But nonetheless, $2.9 million was the price for a 1-of-1 2003-2004 Upper Deck signed Michael Jordan card. So this is literally the only one that exists. It was graded at a 10, which is virtually a perfect card. It's the highest number that you can get on a scale of 1 to 10. Pretty freaking awesome that somebody just has 1-of-1 signed by Michael Jordan. It's a trading card.
And I assume that the paper of the card comes from a tree that was grown in Antarctica.
And possibly.
The picture is pure diamond encrusted. Like $2.9 million.
For a trading card.
I was asking this earlier because we heard this story. Do you think Michael Jordan ever gets tempted to just buy an unsigned rookie card of his, sign it, and sell it immediately for like a couple $100,000 more?
Yo.
Because like I have to imagine like a 1-of-1 Michael Jordan rookie probably costs $500,000. I don't know, less than 2.9 because it's not signed. So it's kind of like a guaranteed payoff, right? Like if Michael Jordan just went around buying Michael Jordan cards, I'm not talking about like a billion of them, you don't want to saturate the market, but like every time he wanted an extra $1 million, he just yeah, I'll buy this card, buys it off eBay, buys it at an auction, signs it, gives it right back to the auction, say, see how much more it goes for, give me the difference. Where's the flaw in my business plan?
Sounds like a pretty easy flip.
Could I get into business with all the biggest athletes in the world doing that? Where I go, listen, I'm going to buy a card. You're going to sign it. I'm going to sell the card. We split the profits 50-50.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I think because I said that on air, it's trademarked. You can't steal my idea.
That's true.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is 4:33, and every day at this time, we hit the Storm Tracker. Storm Tracker are the biggest rumors, most interesting, most sizzly, most juicy rumors of the Canes offseason. That's why we call it Storm Tracker. Dennis, what rumor are we breaking down today?
So as has been reported by multiple outlets, half of the NHL, 16 teams, have contacted the Carolina Hurricanes about the services of Martin Necas and if he's available via trade. Well, one of the names that's been floated around, or one of the teams, has been the Vancouver Canucks. Now, Vancouver and Carolina were engaged in trade talks at the trade deadline for Carolina to acquire center Elias Pettersson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Vancouver ended up working out a big 8-year contract extension, so that didn't quite work, but part of that trade was Martin Necas. Now, there's been
part
rumor,
of those discussions, and
part of that proposed trade was Martin Necas. Now, the question is going forward: is Vancouver still interested? Well, the question is, though, can Vancouver actually pull off a deal? Are they going to be basically outbid for Martin Necas? Here's Elliot Friedman of TSN, one of the big Canadian know-it-all NHL guys, earlier about, all right, this Vancouver deal might not happen.
I think it's a harder deal to do now that Pettersson is not going to be dealt. I think that they're probably talking about some of your top prospects, and the ask is big. I don't think that Ronick is going to do this. I think they're going to want some of your top prospects too, or one of your top prospects. I've just been told it's a harder deal for Vancouver to do now, that the talks are not the same as they were, whatever they were before the deadline.
I'll tell you what I'm reading out of this. And again, we're inferring here a little bit. Teams are starting to get priced out of the Martin Necas market.
Yeah.
They're at the auction going, yeah, I'm in. Ooh, not for that much. Not because we don't want to. We don't have it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't have the $2.9 million to buy that rookie card.
We can't responsibly remain in this auction. Martin Necas is, and I know this is, I'm stepping outside of my areas of expertise here. It's starting to feel like GameStop a little bit. You know, the GameStop, the trading, the stock price thing. Is will the buzz around Martin Necas just continue to go up in price forever? Or do the Canes have to at some point time their jump appropriately? Because we're doing this Storm Tracker every day at 4:33. Feels like half of them have been something else that's positive about what we can expect in return from Martin Necas. Mm-hmm. At first it was like, Martin Necas, Olmark. Then it was like, Martin Necas, here's 3 teams that are interested. Then it was Martin Necas, here's a couple more teams that are interested. Then it was Martin Necas, over 50% of the league has reached out about Martin Necas. Then it was Martin Necas, and everyone else in the league thinks he's a centerman that can also work on a first-team power play. Then now it's Martin Necas is getting so valuable that teams that don't have enough can't afford to stay in the talks with Martin Necas. And I'm going is this just going to go up forever? Or do the Canes have to look around and go, market's hot. We got to take advantage of it quick here because who knows how long this sizzle is going to last. It feels again like you have a stock and it's going up. And you're just like, oh, this is awesome. Then it goes up, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Then it goes up, and you start going should I sell? And then someone's looking at you going, no, hold it to the moon. All right, I'll hold it. And it goes up a little bit more, and it goes up a little bit more. And then the first time it wavers, you're like, oh, no.
Must sell. Yeah.
I held too long. You still quadrupled your money. Relax. I understand it because Martin Necas is a talented player, and he's a young player. And there's a little bit of team control there from a contract perspective with the restricted free agency. I get it. I get that part of it. I just sometimes look at dramatic off-season movement and go what's changed over the last 3 weeks? especially because, I mean, and this is no disrespect to Nate, it's like this wasn't his best season.
No.
Like it'd be one thing if like kind of the contract year phenomena happened, right? If he played unreal, lights out in the postseason, and then all of this hype started, I'd be like, all right, everybody's got a little recency bias. I see what's going on here. But it was kind of like a middle-of-the-road Martin Necas season. If he had, I don't know, like a 60% face-off win percentage or something, I'd be like, all right, that's what's telling everybody they can get it done in the as a centerman. But it's like he doesn't have those things to hang on. Usually, and obviously, I pay more attention because I played football to the business of football. But sometimes there's like Justin Jefferson was hurt for a month, and Jordan Addison went bananas. Everyone's like, oh, Jordan Addison can be a number one wide receiver. He's going to be a hot trade market commodity. I'm just looking for like whatever that is for Martin Necas. What is that thing that is telling everyone else that month where he got to be the guy, that month where he played center, that something? I'm looking for the something that would explain this rising stock price, and
It's hey, in our system.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Maybe that's it. And actually, Elliot Friedman did talk about, man, Necas probably actually does want to change the scenery.
I know there's been some talk about him going back and playing in Carolina next year. I don't believe that's the option. I don't believe that's the preferred option. I think that everybody here would kind of be willing to move on. The worst comes to worst, the Hurricanes could simply take him to arbitration. But I'm not even convinced 100% that that's the move that they want to do. As you guys know, when they were talking Pettersson, and Pettersson, says he doesn't believe that was ever going to happen. But when they were talking about it, both of those guys were in that deal.
Interesting. Been 2 years, really, of Martin Necas trade talks. Maybe even a little bit more. Maybe they finally get it done by Saturday. Maybe. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about Coach Pete and everyone over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. How about this, right? We talk about retirement planning often when it comes to Capital Financial Advisory Group with two main things. Keeping your income secured so you don't have to worry about it through retirement, and keeping it as maximized as possible, right? The most money as possible through retirement. But there's another thing that you need to think of, and that's these new innovative life insurance policies, because they can actually play into the other two. This is not your parents' version of life insurance. That's the thing of the past. Game-changing amendments to the world of life insurance can help you along the path to retirement. Get this. Coach tells me you could even use the death benefit to pay for any long-term care expenses, tax-free. It's a great word, right? Tax-free. This is one of the many benefits of the new generation of life insurance, but Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial can walk you through all of it, the best ways to put your policy to work for you and your financial future. Call right now, and Coach Pete will walk you through not only the life insurance alternatives and innovations, but also hook you up with a copy of one of his best-selling books. Just be sure to tell him I sent you. That's important. Make sure he knows Tim sent you. So get your retirement set up, your life insurance set up, and get yourself one of his best-selling books as well. Call 800-691-3215. Say, I heard about it from Tim. 800-691-3215. Or text Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700. That's Tim to 600-700 if you want to text. We're going to take a break. When we come back, who are you rooting for? NBA and NHL finals. North Carolina doesn't really have a horse in the race, so to speak. So put our fan hats on. Who are we fans of for the finals? Stick around.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Here's Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Soccer fans, what do Sergio Aguero, J.J. Watt, Ali Krieger, Chris Paul, Kari Lloyd, Pat McAfee, and Wrexham have in common? They're coming to Cary. TST, the soccer tournament, Year 2, WakeMed Soccer Park, this weekend. June 5th through 10th. Tickets on sale at thetournament.com. Last year, sold out. Tickets still available. That's thetournament.com. 118 games, $2 million prizes, a family festival of soccer. TST. Get your tickets now. Thetournament.com.
The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200. That's right, $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. So buy two, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18 plus. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Word prohibited.
For a limited time at Circle K, get 3 20-ounce ice-cold Mountain Dews for only $5. Only on the Inner Circle app. Do the Dew.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You never hope to have these conversations that we're about to have because you hope your favorite team is in the finals, right? You hope that there's an obvious answer, like, oh, we're definitely going to root for blah, blah, blah. The Canes would have been in the Stanley Cup finals.
Yes.
We would know who we were rooting for in the Stanley Cup finals.
Yes.
But they're not.
They're not.
But at our hearts, we are fans, right?
Of course.
Like at our hearts, we still want to watch the games, right? Because you're either watching the Stanley Cup finals or you're done with hockey till next year. So you cling to it, right? You watch a little bit more. Same thing in the NBA. Either you're watching basketball or you're going to be settling for like the 3-on-3 Olympics or something. Like you watch. And this is actually one of the reasons why I do dabble in legal sports gambling, is because if I don't have a horse in the race for a game I want to watch, I can quickly find something to root for by putting a little monetary investment on something. But sometimes you don't even need that, because fans, you don't need monetary investment in something to be a fan. You just get to be a fan. So I want to ask this question. Where does our fandom lead us? Edmonton Oilers or Florida Panthers? Celtics, Boston Celtics, or Dallas Mavericks? Where does our fandom lead us? Because there are those relationships too, right? I unfortunately grew up a Mets fan.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're getting through it.
Are you?
Yeah, still alive. Still. Yeah. But because of that, I actually do have some guys that have left the Mets, and I feel happy when they find success. If Jacob deGrom ever gets healthy and pitches well again, I'm just going to go you know what?
I just want you to be happy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want you to be happy.
So
find something that works for you.
It could be that. It could be maybe a team that at one point in time I'm thinking of when Andy Dalton threw a touchdown that put the Bills in the postseason when he was playing for the Bengals, because they beat the team that was tied with the Bills for that last playoff spot. And then it's from that point on, Andy Dalton's an honorary Bills Mafia. Everybody's just kind of rooting for him. So are there any of those reasons, right, those kind of other reasons why maybe a Canes fan would be rooting for the Oilers or the Panthers? There are in the front office of the Florida Panthers some old Canes.
There are. Paul Maurice, former Canes head coach.
There's some of that there. Are there good vibes there? Obviously, the Panthers did eliminate the Canes, not this season that's finishing up, but the previous season. But it was a hard-fought game. It was really just Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah, that guy. The guy that the Canes almost traded for, almost got via trade.
The Panthers did beat the Rangers.
Yeah, there's that. Thank you.
Is that enough to then be we're rooting for you? Edmonton McDavid. Are you somebody that wants to see McDavid enter into a higher level of rare air? Or is it no, I'm Team Aho. They're in the same draft class. If Aho doesn't get a cup, McDavid doesn't get a cup.
A lot of things to stew on.
I'll put you on the spot. Who are you rooting for?
I'm going Edmonton Oilers in this one.
Just can't root for another Eastern Conference?
I can't root for the Florida Panthers. I'm sorry.
Well, see,
one of my closest friends, Eddie's from South Florida. He's a huge Panthers fan. Love Eddie. Sorry, Eddie. Can't do it.
I think I lean towards you. My dad is the other way. My dad is a Duke basketball fan.
Oh.
Lived in this area, had season tickets back in the 80s. He's bona fide. But as soon as Duke is eliminated, he becomes what's best for the conference. And he would root for a State or a Carolina. His Final Four in his bracket is always 3 or 4 ACC teams.
Okay.
And I'm always going really? You're a Duke fan. And you can stomach rooting for some of these other teams just to get the ACC further. So maybe Eastern Conference supremacy?
Nah.
Celtics Mavericks. By the way, I'm with you. I'm in Edmonton.
Connor McDavid is the face of the NHL, and I do want to see him earn a cup.
I think he deserves a cup.
I mean, the entire country of Canada is pulling for Edmonton right now because they want the cup back north of the border.
I go back.
I'm Florida. I'm Florida. Scratch all of it.
I'm Florida.
You know what?
USA.
No, not rooting for the Edmonton Oilers.
How did we miss that?
Cup stays here on our soil. Go Florida Panthers.
It's an Olympic summer. What are we doing?
Come on.
USA.
Let's go.
Celtics, Mavericks, Boston, Dallas, two American cities. We can have this debate now. This one's tough for both Duke fans and Duke haters, of which I know there are both. Which, by the way, the Pat McAfee show is live from Cary this kind of end of the week because he's playing in the soccer tournament. And apparently he's just getting to know our little triangle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and I only saw a brief clip, but it's funny. He said, he's like, I knew Duke was hated nationally. They're hated locally too. I was like, all right, he's picking up some of the vibes. And then all of a sudden in the background, you heard Wolf, Pack, Wolf. So I was like, all right, he's getting a taste of the triangle here in Cary.
He's been to NC State before calling games.
But it was funny. He was like, I thought it was a national thing. But if you're a Duke fan, do you want Kyrie to get a title away from LeBron and Derek Lively to get a title, rookie? Or do you want Jason Tatum to get that metaphorical monkey off his back and get the title? And then if you're a Duke hater, what hurts less? Seeing Kyrie Irving get a title or seeing Jason Tatum get that metaphorical monkey off his back and get a title? That's a tough one for both Duke lovers and Duke haters. Is there another reason you might root for either of these teams?
Oh, I have two main reasons, or three actually.
Let's hear them.
Luka Doncic is my favorite player to watch. Derek Lively's my guy. Like we are best friends. He just doesn't know it yet, but we are best friends, Derek Lively and myself. And three, Boston sports fans can drink their tears anytime, anywhere. Give me the Dallas Mavericks. 100% on the Mavericks train.
See, I think Tatum deserves one.
Oh, okay, fine. He can do it in another city.
No, I don't think Boston's going to let him leave. Those contracts, once you get on that kind of cycle of just max contract, home team.
I know.
They're tough to walk
I do
away
like Jason Tatum. Do not get me wrong. He's one hell of a basketball player, but I can't root for a Boston sports team. Can't.
I think Tatum is a bit hurt by the success he had early. Because he was getting to second round of the playoffs well before he should have. The Brad Stevens years. Eastern Conference Finals well before he should have. So now it feels like he's been a failure for a decade. But he is not a failure for a decade.
See, I can't. They got the Bruins up there. I can't root for them.
Well, not rooting for the Bruins.
I know. But I can't root for anything in that city, sports-wise.
Does Hartford count?
No.
All right, that's fair. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I think I'm rooting for Boston. Jason Tatum, have at it. Right now, I want to tell you about what's going on over at Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location, and including inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at the Village District location in Raleigh, they have an Omega boutique, which is awesome. The Omega Speedmaster is one of the most iconic timepieces in history. It's been worn on the moon. It is the official watch of astronauts and NASA. So it's literally been worn on the moon. And Omega recently has started spicing it up. Look into it. They've just put a white dial on it for the first time. They have a two-tone that is rumored to be coming out here shortly. That's the kind of iconic timepiecery, I don't even know if that's a word, wrist watchery that you get at an Omega boutique. Brand new Omega boutique inside Raleigh's Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Not just the Speedmaster, but the Seamaster, the DeVille, the Constellation, the Railmaster. There's some really, really cool watches there. Go ahead and check them out. And make sure they know you heard about it right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Again, let them know you heard about it from me, Tim Donnelly, on 99.9 The Fan. The starting five is coming up next, including a reaction to a hype video from the Carolina Panthers. Stick around.
We're jamming your June with championships. The NBA Finals.
The Celtics have finished the sweep. They rally again, and it's on to the NBA Finals.
The Stanley Cup Finals.
Reinhardt scores. The Panthers win Game 4.
The U.S. Open.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion. Oh, my.
Catch every winning moment with us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait, grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bo sauce? Then it's Bo time.
Tim Donnelly here. Don't miss out on the sale of the summer from Zero Res. 3 rooms in your house, Zero Resified. Every surface cleaned for $109 plus $100 off your air duct cleaning. Give them a call, 919-915-0000 or ZeroResRaleigh.com.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
Hey, it's Victoria in studio with WakeMed's Dr. Michael Williford for Men's Health Month. He's with WakeMed General Surgery, specializing in minimally invasive hernia repair. What exactly is a hernia?
A hernia just means a hole anywhere. The most noticeable ones are on the abdominal wall, the belly button hernias, the groin hernias. Hernias can occur for many different reasons. We all have an umbilical cord in the womb. We all have a natural defect there at the belly button. Over time, that can grow and become larger. Similarly, in our groin, during development, our testicles descend there. We have a natural hole in the groin as well, and we can develop a bulge there as well. And we think up to 10% of men will develop some sort of hernia in their lifetime, and generally hernias get larger over time. There are a few things that can make them get larger. You know, anything that increases pressure on the inside of the abdomen, weight gain, straining for constipation, men that do repetitive heavy lifting at work, an incision can make your tissues weaker.
Learn more about WakeMed General Surgery at wakemed.org.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Maye. We have the chance for storms till about midnight, 71 the low. And then tomorrow, with the approach of a cold front in the afternoon, we have the chance for strong to maybe severe storms, roughly from Raleigh northward, the high around 90 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 96 points today to 38,807.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five. But first, it's time to let you know how you can win tickets to see all of the Sunday action at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. Father's Day Sunday, we have a pair of tickets to give away. You can take you and a friend, you and your dad, if it's a Father's Day thing, you and a buddy, you and a pal, you and whoever you want. Pair of tickets to Sunday at the U.S. Open. And yes, it is the U.S. Open, meaning it is a massive field with great golfers, and there will be action, major championship action that will conclude on Sunday, and you can be there. If you want to elbow the crowds and push your way through, you can be there when they hoist the trophy. It's that kind of event. All you have to do to enter to win is text in Golf, GOLF 919-86. Sorry, text in Golf, GOLF 2-919-860-5326. The number to text to is 919-860-5326. Do whatever the link asks you to do, and you will be registered to win a pair of tickets to Sunday at the U.S. Open. Now let's get into the starting five, starting with number 5. Last night, the Panthers released episode 1 of their off-season reality show. It's like Hard Knocks if Hard Knocks was owned by the team instead of HBO. So there's going to be some propaganda. There's going to be, I've been calling it state-owned media. Like, there's nothing negative that is going to come out of the Panthers' self-produced video. It's actually, maybe the best way to put it is, there's all these documentaries coming out right now. It feels like all the streaming services are all over like music documentaries, right? If you had a hit record at any point in the last 50 years, a streaming service wants a documentary about you. And you can always tell if it's going to be like honest and tell the juicy bits right at the beginning when it shows the executive producers. Because if it's an executive producer produced by the artist that's being in the documentary, you're just going to get the good stuff, right? If it's like Rolling Stones documentary produced by Mick Jagger, it's like, oh, you're just going to get the good stuff. You're not going to get the true story. Well, that's what the Panthers put out last night. They put out the blueprint, which is their behind-the-scenes look at their off-season, but it's produced by the Panthers. So take it with a grain of salt. What do we know from the first episode? Which, by the way, you can actually hear a quick clip of this show on that. They're listening. What do we know? We know this. We know Dave Canales and Brad Idzik, his offensive coordinator, are best friends. We know Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, the GM, are best friends. We know Dave Canales and Bryce Young are best friends. Dave Canales is
everyone's best friend.
Yeah, he's the guy who's like, I'm getting married. It's gonna be a big wedding. There's gonna be 200 people there. I'm gonna have 47 groomsmen. It's like they're all my best friend. I'm in all their weddings. I got to. How many bridesmaids does your wife have? 4. It's gonna be 4 on one side, 47 on the other side. Pictures will look a little lopsided.
Like 27 dresses here.
Yeah. Dave Canales hyping up Bryce Young on the blueprint.
Bryce is so much to be excited about. There we go. Especially for me coming into this situation where my high hope is that we're playing high stakes games and we have a chance to win the game at the end. We have a guy who can do that, who can lead us there and who can perform in any type of situation. So I think that's the first part of it. And then there's all these other tools that he has, his intellect, his athleticism, his accuracy. I'm seeing it every day right now as we go out to practice.
He should write like Hallmark cards. That first line, Bryce Young is so much to be excited about. Isn't that just, it's like a Hallmark card. On our anniversary, you are still so much to be excited about. Bryce Young, Dave Canales, Dan Morgan, Brad Idzik. I mean, I don't know how the football is going to be. The vibes are through the roof with the Carolina Panthers right now. We'll see week 1 how the actual football comes out. But everybody, I mean, we talked about we will talk about this in a second. The edge rushers aren't even there, and everyone's just acting like that doesn't even exist.
I feel great about playing football right now.
You feel great about football? What about the other football? Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
The soccer tournament going on today in Cary. Have you watched much of it, Dennis?
I've seen some clips and such on social media and things like that.
Few,
it's pretty intense action, actually. There's like fights and scrums.
Few things stand out to me. One is the format of it all makes it exciting. And,
Very much
like
so.
high stakes. They have that whatever, the target goal. There's a game-winning goal in every game, which is kind of cool. Also, 7 players, the field length, I don't know what it is. It feels like it's a little bit more chaotic, kind of more, or maybe it's just the level of play. I don't know, but it seems like there's more going on. I do have a couple of, obviously the ones that are going viral on my feed because I follow so many, I don't follow a ton of soccer. is the J.J. Watt and Pat McAfee and Chad Ochocinco of it.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Watt is heavy-footed. To be expected. He's
a big dude.
He's a big dude.
He towers over everyone else out there in the field.
Yes. The other thing is Chris Paul isn't as tall. If J.J. Watt is as tall as J.J. Watt says, Chris Paul isn't as tall as Chris Paul says. Because I saw them talking. They're at the soccer tournament.
Mm-hmm.
A big height difference there. It's like if one of you, I think one says he's 6'5" and one says he's 6'1", and I'm going like, well, there's 7 inches between you. So,
well, I think Watt was wearing cleats.
All right, we can do that. He was up on a curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was uphill. J.J. Watt, though, as I was saying, he's heavy-footed, man. He's you. I'm not even saying it was unimpressive, but I don't think until let me rewind it and say this a better way. Every year when every 4 years when the Olympics come around, there's somebody, stand-up comedian, an analyst, somebody makes the point of, I want to see just one regular person competing in each event just to see how tough it is, right? Because I don't know how hard rhythmic gymnastics is. Put in like a regular person out there to try it once, and I'll be more impressed when I see the actual experts do it. I'm not saying J.J. Watt is a regular person. J.J. Watt is a significantly above average athlete. Soccer players are just really, really light on their feet. They're quick. They're like cats. He's more like a polar bear or something. Like it's a different kind of athleticism. The other with Pat McAfee, I have to be honest, felt like they were hiding him a bit. Casey Hintz, WRAL, tweeted out that right after he first got in, she had like the video of him checking in. And then her tweet said, a few for the brand folks in the house, so he's got fans. Not a lot of touches for Pat, but he can move and motivate, is what she said. When you are a player on a team and the reporters are going, you can motivate, that probably means you're not doing the best to play in your sport. You ever have like a shooting guard come off the floor in basketball, high fives? Coach is like, you were a great motivator out there.
Hey.
That means he didn't score many points.
He can move his feet, though.
Not a lot of rebounds. He can move and motivate. But there are some ties to the area. Dave Doran was J.J. Watt's defensive coordinator in college at Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right.
So that they started joking around about like the local college scene, and then eventually he was like, no, actually Dave Doran is like my guy. Like he was my defensive coordinator at Wisconsin. NC State, he's got him cranking. And then Pat McAfee chimes in with, Tony Gibson recruited me to West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, all right, well then you guys should be in the area more often, helping out your former coaches. Dave Doran turned J.J. Watt from a walk-on to a first-round pick. Now he's back in the area playing soccer. Small world. Tony Gibson turned Pat McAfee from a soccer player to a football player. Now he's back in the area playing soccer. Talk about a small world.
Yeah.
Other than that, the soccer tournament looks like a blast. Looks like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
The good soccer players that are in the area, Aguero and a few others, look like they were doing what they're supposed to be doing, scoring goals and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get the tickets, if you can make it out, looks like a fun time.
I'm trying to go Saturday.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm trying to go on Saturday. It's a little bit hard for us to go, with the time slot,
during the week,
and everything during the week. But Saturday, I'm looking to go because I think we'll get into like the quarterfinal round and then see some of the women's matches and things like that. I want to see U.S. women's national team, the NC Courage play. Should be a lot of fun.
I do think some of the celebrity contestants might not still be playing on Saturday.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see, though. We'll see. That was number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
The Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, or Pro Football, got to say it right, the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction class for this upcoming year announced who will be introducing them. This is an honor thing. For those of you that don't watch the speeches every year, you should. I love those speeches. I'm a massive fan of the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction speeches. I'm a sucker for them every single year. But they get to choose somebody to introduce them, right? Somebody to go up there, say a couple words, and it's an honor thing, right? You get to bring somebody up on stage with you. Julius Peppers is going into the Hall of Fame this year. Panthers legend, UNC legend, multiple sports. He's a Carolina folktale almost. he's going in, and they announced who's going to introduce them, and he chose Carl Carey. And it was funny because I was looking down the list of all the introducers, and there's like Walter Payton's son is introducing somebody. Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, is introducing Dwight Freeney, I think. So like it's like I recognized a lot of the introducers, coaches, those types of things. And then Carl Carey, and I went like, who's Carl Carey? There was actually a moment where I thought he was a ref. I was like, was there a ref named Carl Carey? Could that be him? And I was like, nah, it can't be it. There's no way Julius Peppers is like, this guy called the best holdings. He's going to introduce me. So I Googled it, and Carl Carey shows that Julius Peppers nailed the selection. Perfect selection. Carl Carey was a tutor, academic advisor at UNC when Julius Peppers was there. And they developed a bit of a relationship of Julius Peppers, and this is all from an ESPN article I read from, I think it was 2005. So it's like about their relationship well before he was selected as their the introducer. So I was reading it, and they had a relationship a bit of like older brother, younger brother, right? Younger brother being a bit of a knucklehead, skipping class, not getting his work done. Older brother going, come on, man, got to get you to class, got to get your work done. You have some opportunities here. Obviously, those opportunities included playing two sports, which meant Carl Carey occasionally would go to Julius Peppers and go, man, did you do your work? And Julius Peppers would look at him and go, I don't know, I'm tired. Because he would have been doing like off-season football stuff when he could, in-season basketball stuff. Like that's and also going to school when he did. Carl Carey, then the best part of the story was, right, Carey saw Julius Peppers do whatever he needed to do academically to be eligible for the last semester of football, right? And he said, I celebrated. He's like, I got him as far. He's going to be drafted. We did what we had to do. We kept him eligible. And Julius Peppers, they were talking, and he goes, man, look at all these agents coming around. They want to give you all this stuff. They want to, give you a car. They want to give you money to go train. They're promising you millions. Like, what are you going to do? And Julius Peppers looked at him, and the words was, what am I going to do? I'm just going to let you handle it. And that was the start of their relation, or the sign that their relationship would not end. And it's been that kind of mentor relationship ever since. And he is going to he's going to be the introducer for Julius Peppers at his Hall of Fame speech. That's awesome.
Pretty cool honor.
It's like, if you can't go in the Hall of Fame, right? You're not a good enough athlete, not big enough, tall enough, strong enough, athletic enough. It'd be pretty cool to introduce someone into the Hall of Fame. Put that picture on your wall. That's number 3. Let's go ahead and jump to number 2. Just the two of us. Oh, Martin Necas in the latest with the Carolina Hurricanes.
Martin Necas.
Will he be traded? Will he not be traded? Which team wants him? Which team? All of the teams want him. Every day we learn something new. Elliot Friedman, obviously Sportsnet, covers the entire league. Talked about Vancouver, right? Vancouver, I'm going to actually, we're up to 16-plus teams now that have supposedly, reportedly inquired about Martin Necas with the Carolina Hurricanes. Vancouver was one of the first mentioned way back a week or two ago because they had been in the mix for a Martin Necas trade at the trade deadline for Elias Pettersson. That ended up not happening, but right as soon as you know a team was willing to trade for him once, you assume they probably like the player now. Elliot Friedman here has an update on why it might be more difficult for Vancouver to do the Necas trade now than it was at the deadline.
I think it's a harder deal to do now that Pettersson is not going to be dealt. I think that they're probably talking about some of your top prospects, and the ask is big. I don't think that Ronick is going to do this. I think they're going to want some of your top prospects too, or one of your top prospects. I've just been told it's a harder deal for Vancouver to do now, that the talks are not the same as they were, whatever they were before the deadline.
That's interesting. Because, think about how valuable Martin Necas must be. If the Vancouver Canucks as a franchise outside of Elias Pettersson, who just got a massive deal. It's like, if you're not willing to move Pettersson, if you can't move Pettersson, I don't know if you can afford Necas. That's essentially what Elliot Friedman is saying right there. Now that Pettersson can't be a part of the deal, I don't know if they've got the goods to go get Necas. Not do they want to. I don't think they can. It's a more difficult deal. It's a harder deal. That's crazy. So the question becomes, are there 3 or 4 teams out there that have the pieces necessary to make a big offer for Martin Necas? Because if that happens, you get 3. Having 16 teams call is nice. You get 2 or 3 teams that are really all in. That bidding war can greatly benefit the Carolina Hurricanes. And you need 2 because people are starting to believe that Martin Necas, that remaining in Carolina is less likely. Right? Because that's one of the cards you play. Is like, I don't have to trade him. Up your offer, or I'm going to keep him. It is becoming more and more kind of assumed that he's going to leave. I'm not saying it's 100%, but here's more from Elliot Friedman on the possibility of Necas staying in Carolina.
You know, I know there's been some talk about him going back and playing in Carolina next year. I don't believe that's the option. I don't believe that's the preferred option. I think that everybody here would kind of be willing to move on. You know, the worst comes to worst, the Hurricanes could simply take him to arbitration. But I'm not even convinced 100% that that's the move that they want to do. You know, as you guys know, when they were talking Pettersson, and Pettersson, you know, says he doesn't believe that was ever going to happen. But when they were talking about it, you know, both of those guys were in that deal.
So if that grows, obviously that right there, that sentiment is not enough for the Canes to forfeit there. We might keep him card in negotiations, but if that sentiment grows more and the league doesn't believe he's going to end up back in Carolina, then you do need 2 or 3 teams to be interested, because the bidding war then is where the value lies, because nobody's going to up their offer just because you're like, I might keep him. And they're like, no, you're not. We're not going to offer another pick. No, you're not going to keep him. We're not going to offer another player. It'll be interesting, though. And we haven't talked about actually, let's have this conversation for a minute or two. We don't have a lot of time. It's become commonplace. We haven't even really talked about the Canes don't have a GM. What are we on, day 12?
Yeah, we haven't brought this up yet. Day 12.
Day 12, no GM? Mm-hmm. We're just now used to it. We're just like, oh, yeah, the Canes don't have a GM. They're still doing things. They're still, like, in trade talks. People are still talking about them, and they're like, what? They just don't have a GM. It's like when somebody removed, what is it, the pancreas? Which one doesn't do anything? Gallbladder?
Spleen?
Spleen. Maybe spleen. I don't know. I'm making this up. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, you kind of need a gallbladder and a pancreas.
Spleen. Is the spleen the one that it's like the spleen ruptures and you get it taken out and you're just like, oh, how is that going to affect my life? And they're like, it's not at all. You don't need it.
Yeah.
It's like an old evolutionary thing. I don't know. Like, is that kind of not what's happening with the Canes GM? It's like, oh, the GM left. Oh, my gosh. How is this going to affect our day-to-day life? It's not. You don't really need one. We've got a group of people that we're just going to kind of, right? It's just more room for your pancreas. Everybody knows you need a pancreas. I need to learn more about the human body because I don't really get any of that. Dennis is looking at me very disappointed that I threw what's the one you don't need and threw out gallbladder and pancreas. Spleen. Tonsils. Tonsils might have been a better one. Appendix. It's coming in appendix. Somebody texted me. And they put a bruh at the end. Appendix, bruh, which is very much bruh. Yep, there it is. Let's go ahead and jump to number 1.
The one!
Does anybody this used to happen in like the late 90s and early 2000s? It's 5:21. Do you know where your children are? It's 5:21. Do you know where your edge rushers are? Carolina Panthers. And right now you see Dave Canales going, they were around here somewhere. Oh, hold on. Jadeveon Clowney, not at OTAs. Caleb Von Chasson, not at OTAs. DJ Wonnum not healthy at OTAs. There's an argument those are your top 3 edge rushers on your depth chart. Not practicing. Mandatory minicamp starting next week. You haven't even really seen Jadeveon Clowney. What'd you give him, like $12, $14 million a year?
Like $20 million total, I think.
And he's just not around. I struggle with this because I know they're worth it and they make a lot of money because people watch them, and I understand the business of it. But there's also this, like, I don't know if it's like the blue collar in me or something that says if you get paid double-digit $1 million, voluntary workouts aren't voluntary for you. I kind of have a problem. Lamar Jackson didn't show up to his offseason workouts and forfeited a $750,000 workout bonus. Again, I understand he's got more money than he knows what to do with. He makes $50 million a year. He can afford $750K to not go into work. But if you're making $50+ million a year, show up to work, even on the voluntary days. Even on the voluntary days. K'Lavon Chaisson, you are fighting for a roster spot. There's no guarantees in your contract. Show up. What you're doing is you're making it more difficult for the team to give you the benefit of the doubt. If Jadeveon Clowney and if they show up, right, and they have 3 sacks in game 1 and they finish with double-digit each, nobody's going to care that they weren't at OTAs. But if you show up and through the first month you're not getting much pressure on the quarterback, if you were there, the coaches can say, no, I trust his process. He's been working hard. We saw him all offseason. Give him time. If you're not at the offseason and you're not playing well, they're going to go, well, who knows if he was even working out. Working out where they can see you gives you a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Right? It's why, like, you know, we used to do stupid little stuff. Like if me and one of my wide receivers went in and watched film late at night, you always made sure you left, like, a note for the coach or something. You want him to know you were in there late at night. Not because you're like, oh, I'm a suck-up. It was more just because, like, that way if I make a mistake on the field, he's not going to, in spring practice, he's not going to go, it's because you've never been watching film. No, I did. I just messed up, coach. Like, who knows what they're doing not at OTAs? Show up. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get that money out, get some money out for that home improvement project you've been wanting to get done. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs numbers game contestants. If you want to play the numbers game, today, if you win Dave Matthews Band tickets. Dave Matthews Band at Coastal Credit Union Music Park next Friday, June 14th. That's the Dave Matthews right there. That's the one I grew up with. If you want to play, if you want to win the tickets, you have to call in now. We need 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. Call in right now, 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I think it's the most elite hot dog you can get is a Chicago dog. It's delicious. Do not knock it until you've tried it.
I understand it's a delicacy. It's unique to Chicago, but I'm over that. I don't necessarily need to have that. I think it's too much on a hot dog. A hot dog, maybe you want to put some sauteed onions, maybe a little bit of relish, but I think that's about all that belongs on the hot dog.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Spectrum Internet has enough speed to handle all your needs, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus, Spectrum's advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security for all your connected devices. Get Spectrum Internet with fast and reliable speeds, starting at just $29.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Visit spectrum.com/internet for you for full details. Offer subject to change, valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
It's Chevy truck season at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Score up to $8,500 off a brand new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ with a $2,500 Wilkinson discount, plus a $6,000 trade-in bonus on eligible vehicle. Offer valid on stock number 24450. Similar offers available for others. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. One of the only dealerships with the best of GMC and Chevy under one roof. WilkinsonCars.com.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Hey, you love what you love. So save on your faves, like a sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles for just $2.50.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The numbers game. It's time for the numbers game. We have Sal in Morrisville and Justin in Raleigh on the line, getting ready to battle it out for Dave Matthews Band tickets. Let me make sure I get all those details right. Coastal Credit Union Music Park next Friday, June 14th. What question should we ask? I was... You know what? Let's do a Dave Matthews question. How about that? As always, we ask a question to see who goes first. We pick our favorite answer. Sal in Morrisville, tell us your favorite Dave Matthews song and why. And if you don't know one, make one up.
Real World.
What was that?
Isn't it?
I think the name of the title is Real World.
Real World. Okay. I don't know that. Maybe. We'll see if that's the one we end up choosing.
Well, that's part of the lyrics anyway.
All right. Justin and Raleigh, you're up next. What's your favorite Dave Matthews Band song? And if you don't know one, make one up.
Space Between.
I do know that song.
Space Between is an actual song.
All right. Real World might be, but Justin's definitely was. So, Justin, you get to go first. But don't worry, Sal, and Sal, I know you've played before. You'll have your chance as well. Justin and Raleigh, are you ready to roll?
Yep.
All right. The categories are NFL Sam's Club. These are all players with Sam or Samuel in their name. NFL You Can Do It. All players with Ken in their name. NBA current players only or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
NBA current players only.
NBA current players only. The way this works, I'll give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start whenever you hear the horn. D'Angelo Russell, Los Angeles Lakers.
0.
Incorrect. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers.
15.
Incorrect. D'Angelo Russell, Los Angeles Lakers.
1.
Correct. Jonathan Kuminga, Golden State Warriors.
Oh. 00?
Correct. Peyton Pritchard, Boston Celtics.
Peyton Pritchard, he's low number.
Just trying to summon it to you. Low number. It's like no whammies. Stop. D'Angelo Russell, you missed out on that one. He wore number 1 with the Lakers. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers, 45. Jonathan Kuminga, you got with 00. That's a really good pull. Peyton Pritchard, you knew it was a low number. It was number 11. You got 2 right. So 2 will be the number to beat. You can sit on the line, and we'll see if it holds up, all right?
All right.
He did get D'Angelo Russell eventually, right? And then he didn't get Donovan
he missed
Mitchell.
it the first time.
Yeah, I had him backwards. That brings us to Sal in Morrisville. Sal, are you there?
I am.
All right. The categories remaining for you are NFL You Can Do It, all Kens. NBA current player only or NHL Canes and Whalers only? Oh, sorry. No, NBA current players already taken. I'm all off today. We have both NFL categories and NHL.
I'll do the NFL Ken.
All right. These are all players with K-E-N, Ken, in the name somewhere. With that being said, you get 30 seconds. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number. You have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh Steelers.
3.
Incorrect. Kendrick Bourne, New England Patriots.
18.
Incorrect. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh Steelers.
1.
Incorrect. Kendrick Bourne, New England Patriots.
81.
Incorrect. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh Steelers.
2.
Incorrect. Kendrick Bourne, New England Patriots.
17.
Incorrect. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh Steelers.
4.
Incorrect. You were getting closer, and then you got further. I felt like we were playing, warmer, colder. Kenny Pickett with the Steelers wore number 8. Kendrick Bourne with the Patriots wore number 84. Those are the answers we were looking for. Did not find them. Appreciate you for playing, though. Hope you had a good time.
I did, as always. I'll try it again tomorrow, maybe.
There you go. Sal is he's a grinder, man. His win percentage might be low, but he's a volume shooter.
Hey, he plays the game right, though.
He does.
You know what? No time wasted. Here's a number.
He was in the teens for Kendrick Bourne. He went up into the 80s, and he went back to the teens. I was like, no, you were close. Either way, the winner is Justin and Raleigh. Congratulations, Justin.
Let's go.
You get the tickets. You get to see the Dave Matthews Band. Hopefully they'll play all the hits for you. Space Between, Crash Into Me, all that kind of stuff. Crash, I think it's Crash.
Kendrick Bourne, a guy who I wish the Niners never let go of.
Oh, you think the Niners are hurting for wide receivers?
Well, not anymore. But
with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. Are you a Niners fan?
Big Niners fan, yeah.
All right, you're a little spoiled, I have to be honest. If you're complaining about the wide receivers that you let go.
I like the cabin's full, you know?
All right. I mean, it just seems a little bit like, you're going Great White Buffalo on Kendrick Bourne, and you have You have like the best wide receiver core in the league. Appreciate you for playing, though. Congratulations. Enjoy the tickets and enjoy the concert.
Thanks so much.
Sit on the line, though. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you make it. Make sure you get to the tickets.
All right.
How about that?
Man, wish I had that fourth receiver that we had a couple years ago.
When we go 5 wide and want to take both George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey off the field, sure would be really nice to have Kendrick Bourne. I didn't even mention that they drafted Ricky Pearsall in the first round this year as a luxury pick. I mean, goodness gracious. It's. I mean, we all do that as fans. We get locked into our own team, right? And you complain about something, and like I feel like we do it with the Canes, right? Where we'll complain that the Canes didn't get out of the second round of the playoffs, and somewhere there's a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 10 years going like, oh, that's what you're complaining about? Just like our guy Justin there. Kendrick Bourne. Wish we could have held on to him. Instead, we have to just suffer through the offense grinding to a halt with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and Kittle and McCaffrey and Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. How are we going to get it? How are we going to get by? Meanwhile, Panthers are over here. Panthers last year had Adam Thielen as their wide receiver number 1. I'm not sure he makes the Niners. And that's no disrespect to Adam Thielen. He's definitely a legit NFL top 2. Like he had 100 catches last year. He's super legit. It's just that's how good the Niners wide receiving core is. I should what I should have done? I should have brought up Trey Lance. I should have been like, if you were going to complain, we're going to make it hurt. We'll give you something to complain about.
This will be something we can talk about another time. Imagine making, as a general manager, trade up multiple first-round picks for a bust first-round pick of a quarterback. Like, bust.
And just be cruising like no,
and then
it never happened.
What? And people were like, man, this team is awesome. Like, he's done such a good job. Like, no, actually, you blew that one.
All you have to do is, as big of a mess up as that is, finding a legit starting quarterback in the NFL in the 7th round is that much of a boost.
Yeah.
So it's like they completely canceled each other out.
Exactly. That saved your bacon right there.
If Trey Lance was playing as well as Brock Purdy was playing, it would just be like there'd be no story in either direction.
Well, now the question is, like, can you afford all these guys? Because, he's getting paid him so much money. But nope.
Got a 7th round contract for your quarterback. You can pay a lot of guys a lot of money. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis has more for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Here's something about Deep River. I know Father's Day is a week and a half away. Take Dad down to Deep River. I'm telling you, you're going to have an absolute wonderful time. You're probably thinking, gosh, I still don't know what to get Dad. You're probably contacting a sibling or even your mom. Look, I don't know what to get Dad. I don't know what to do. I mean, he's already got all the golf clubs. He's already got all the tools and all this different stuff. Have that great experience. Have that. That's something that a lot of us missed for a lot of time, was that experience with family members and loved ones. Go experience that with Dad. You can do that at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. I took my dad and my brother-in-law back there back in February down to Deep River, and we had an absolute wonderful time, an absolutely amazing time. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School has everything you need for your shooting, for your round of clays. So guess what? All you got to do, show up, make sure you're prepared to go, and just go out there and have a good time. DeepRiverSportingClays.com. Again, check them out online. See all that they have to offer from the online store, courses, one-on-one instruction, you name it. DeepRiverSportingClays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. CJ Stroud, the Panthers. Is this a rivalry or is it a fabrication? Stick around.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. give Optimal Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200. That's right, $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Tim Donnelly here, and I want to tell you about Fox & Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry in their Village District location. They have all of the watches you could possibly be looking for. It's a space that pays tribute to the early days of Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and some of the watches, they pay homage to the early days of classic vintage timekeeping. We're talking pre-owned and vintage Rolexes. They have a large selection, the largest selection of pre-owned and vintage Rolexes in North Carolina. They have an Omega boutique on the other side of the store that is the second largest of its kind in the country. Omega has been the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games since 1932, so when every second counts, Omega, well, they always come through. Go ahead and check it out. It's all at the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop and their Omega boutique located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. I'm a huge fan of awesome timepieces, and that's why I love Fox & Bailey.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. And 76, visit staples.com/print for details.
Train heating and cooling systems are engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find a local independent train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. C.J. Stroud was drafted 1 pick after Bryce Young. So Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, throughout their entire NFL careers, are going to be linked. It's going to happen. If one of them makes the Hall of Fame and the other doesn't, the other's going to be doing radio interviews talking about their relationship all Hall of Fame weekend when the one goes into the Hall of Fame. It just happens. It's going to happen. Is it a rivalry, though? Well, I'll tell you what, C.J. Stroud's doing his part. C.J. Stroud was on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and told a story about the Panthers and the trash talk that took place on the field between C.J. Stroud and the Panthers last season. Here's that audio.
It's 4th and 1 on the goal line. We call it a QB sneak. I sneak it in. And mind you, I'm already hot because the Panthers ain't draft me. So I'm like, all right, like, I want to show these cats. Yeah. And, like, for some reason, we just ain't really, like, we didn't mesh well that day. Like, I only threw for, like, 140 yards. Like, lowest in my career. It was crazy. So, and they was a nothing. Throw the ball. I'm talking to the crowd, going crazy. And then Bruh came, and he was like, CJ, you ain't even like that. This one of the, I don't even know bro name. You ain't even like that. You ain't even like that. Yeah, he was a safety.
Number 40 something.
Yeah, 42. And
he was talking crazy.
Titus was like, all your side tooth missing. And bruh hold like his grill was gone. I was like, oh.
Did he come back after that?
No, he shut up. He didn't say no the rest of the game.
Bro, you don't want smoke.
Bro, you don't want smoke.
Few things. One, it's a good story. Funny. Ha. We scored. They talked trash. We talked better trash. But the problem is, and by the way, I get athletes, right, they find the chip on their shoulder anywhere. You can walk up to, you used to be able to walk up to like the Michael Jordans and the Kobes and just say, hey, man, great game today. And they'd walk away like, I'm motivated by the fact that he didn't say great game yesterday. Like, he only said great game today. Does that mean none of the other games that I've played were great? Greatness was born in the gym. And then it's like, well, do you think I insulted you? I said great game today. So maybe that's what C.J. Stroud is doing here. He's fabricating a story. So he has, I hate that guy and I'm going to be extra motivated to beat him the rest of my career. He's talking about Sam Franklin, by the way. Sam Franklin Jr., safety for the Panthers, number 42. But the problem is, that one can be disproved. So based on C.J. Stroud's story, C.J. Stroud scored a quarterback sneak, touchdown. Sam Franklin talked some trash. One of C.J. Stroud's teammates talked better trash to Sam Franklin. And then Sam Franklin was quiet the rest of the day. He didn't say anything the rest of the day. You can go back and find the game. After C.J. Stroud scored the touchdown, they went for 2. They did not get it. Why? In part because Sam Franklin Jr. was a part of the pass breakup, and he immediately popped up off the ground and kept talking trash with the Houston Texans. And if you go back and watch any game Sam Franklin has played as a pro, he's talking after pretty much every single play. I don't think your quip about his teeth really got to him that hard. Trash talkers talk trash. And it's a give and take. They get got sometimes, and they got sometimes. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna give it, you have to be willing to take it too.
And the best trash talkers, they don't even hear it when you're talking back to them. They say something to you, you get all bent out of shape, say something back. They're already on to thinking about the next mean thing they're gonna say to you or the next play. I wish that there was somewhat like a college scheduling system. You know how UNC and NC State, even if they're not in the same conference, now are about to be like legally required to play each other in football every year by the state. I wish we could do that for like quarterbacks drafted number 1 and number 2, where it's like even if you're AFC, NFC, you still have to play each other every year because it's a rivalry we're just going to miss out on. Just like Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
They should have been in the same conference. They should have been playing each other every year after that draft day trade. Instead, one went to the AFC, one went to the NFC, and they played each other like never.
On opposite coasts.
Yeah, instead you had to settle the rivalry on shows like this, going like, well, Phillip Rivers was a much better statistical quarterback, but Eli Manning walked away with the 2 rings, so would have been so much better if we were like, no, they played each other every year. They were in the league maybe twice a year. They were in the league for 15 years together. One of them won 20, one of them won 10. Like, that's what I want. I want Stroud. I want Bryce Young. I want them playing twice a year. NFL, make it happen.
Make it happen.
The Panthers are never playing in primetime. No one will notice if you shake up their opponents a little bit. It's all Sunday 1 o'clock games anyway. You lost. I didn't know they played this week. Why are the Falcons playing AFC South schedule? Well, that's because we replaced them with the Texans in the NFC South. It's a shame because they're not going to play again for 4 years unless it's the Super Bowl. And let's be real. They're not going to play each other for 4 years. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my partners over at Window Nation. Window Nation, Justin from Window Nation here in Raleigh, came into our house, drove out to our house, brought the examples, had the windows, the little examples, the heat lamps to show us how heat could transfer through certain panes and not certain panes, and it was awesome. And really, it was what happens when you ask and schedule a no obligation consultation, free consultation with Window Nation. They come in and it's about explaining, right? I'm not big on just telling me what to do. And I'm sure many of you aren't also, right? It's not just, hey, you need new windows. Like, well, yeah, you're trying to sell windows, so that's convenient. So instead, show me why I need new windows, if I need new windows. Show me what your windows do that my windows don't. Show me why your materials are better than the materials I have on my windows right now. That's what Window Nation can do. It's not just telling you, because that's too convenient for them, right? You need new windows, all of them. It might be, all right, let's start with the ones facing the sun for most of the day, because that's where you're losing most of your energy. Could be something that simple. They'll talk it through the same way they did with me and my wife. So you know, I say talk to my guy Justin because he did a great job hanging out with us. But if you call Window Nation, all of their install and sales techs are wildly experienced and wildly qualified. Window Nation actually is extending their semi-annual sale also. So 50% off all window styles plus 0% interest for 5 years through this month. 50% off all window styles, 0% interest for 5 years, and an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. So this week you get the additional bonus. This month you get the semi-annual sale. And forever, you get a great partner because it's a lifetime warranty, Window Nation. Go ahead and check them out, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit them online at windownation.com. Starting off Overdrive, we're talking about the blueprint, a video put out by the Panthers highlighting the behind-the-scenes of their offseason. We talked about it to start this show. We're going to replay it to start Overdrive. So enjoy that coming up next. Subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.